Hey y'all. Happy Sunday night. I know it's late for some of you, but it is 8:15, well 8:16 technically, over here in the lovely state of Arizona. So, we are going to discuss this interview that just happened with Duty Ron, Ed Wallace, and Lauren Matthias of Hidden True Crime. We will be continuing on our little journey of unraveling or trying to kind of figure out what is really happening here. Right off the bat, I want to say, first and foremost, I really like Duty Ron, of course. I've said that many times. And I don't think Duty Ron is necessarily in the know, maybe, of things, potentially. Did what he thought was best and offered support. But there is a comment that I will point out in the end that makes me kind of feel like he probably doesn't really know the full story. But we'll just kind of discuss it and talk about it. I stand where I stand. In fact, I've learned of a bunch more since we talked last night about this situation, and you don't say the word stalk 440 times in a live stream without trying to convey a certain narrative. And then again, the facts, the court records, the details do not add up to what the claims are. And that's where I find myself extremely conflicted. Not conflicted, actually. There's just a lot of problems with all of this. So let's go. First and foremost, another thing I want to make note of is you guys can talk openly in this chat. Like, I'm not going to block comments. You guys know where I stand on this. And if you don't know where I stand, I have a lot of questions, and I do not like the story that's been given in the unfolding of how this has gone. And I feel like we are seeing a lot of people weaponize big channels in support. Like, it seems to be this push of either you come out and I stand with her or you're against. It's starting to create this ripple effect already. And a lot of us just want answers, like straightforward. These are true crime creators, and they're not even asking legit questions to come up with the stories that they're telling us. And they're expecting us to believe these stories without any proof. It's wild to me. These are true crime creators. And it's just like, I just keep leaving these and feel so disappointed. Again, I like Duty Ron's coverage on a lot of stuff, but I don't know if he's intentionally avoiding asking questions. What is going on here? Something's weird, but we're going to talk about it. Another huge thing I want to give a shout out to, the beautiful Duchess just did, and she's still going actually, a live stream on Tyler Doyle's story, a recap and an update on that case. I would highly suggest, if you do like the true crime cases, that's another one. Tyler is still missing, and the family has gone through absolute hell. The mods in there seemed, that's what I'm assuming. because he wasn't blocking. It seems like his mod crew was. Hey, Mr. Tomato Head. Hey, LA. Feisty Nana, S. Francisco. Renee. Serenity, Starlight, Pointer Lover, Catherine, Dazed and Amazed. The Thors, Sneaky Suspicion, Marcy, Liberty Farmer, Emma, Note to Self, Rhonda, Haley. Emma, thank you for being a member for 11 months. I love it here too. He could be Tracy. I don't know. I really, we'll look at it together. Niners Girl. Yeah, the mods must have been on it tonight. Note to Self, Lee the Bee, Shelly, Don K, Maria, Peg, Sophia, thank you so much for being a member for 12 months. Hey, Angie. I'm sure you guys know it by now. I've thought about using the full song. The full song is really good. It's 3 minutes, but I try to stick to like the minute intro. Hey, Vicky. Hey, LJ. Sophia, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Welcome to the Cabana if you were gifted a membership from the lovely Sophia. Bubblegum Truth, Ash MJ, Miss Leah, love you. Pointer Lover, I used to watch Duty Ron, but his mods are too heavy-handed. If you ask questions or even disagree respectfully, you get deleted or blocked. I watched tonight and it was bad. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Oh, I don't. Don. He would more likely. That's what I'm. I'll tell you my thoughts while we go. Yeah, I'm not for or against either. Oh, by the way, let me put this disclaimer up there too. I don't know if it's her subs, her hidden gems, what the case is, but they're going around and watching videos that have some questions about her story and are asking logical questions. I'm getting the comments of, you must be friends with Lindsay and Christina. No, I don't know those people, and nor do I want to. Absolutely no. No. Mm-mm. I'm not friends with them, nor do I know them or have I ever spoken with them. Weird. Hey, Katie K, thank you for being a member for 7 months. Absolutely feels off. Layla, I'm really sorry to hear that. I'm really shocked by the true crime community on this one. Hey, Justice Equalizer, I'm really shocked. Yeah, that's what it sounds like too, Miss Leah. Hey, Gertie, Rhiannon, Gray Pearl, Mercedes Girl, Terry. I get that, Terry, with the whole like we believe victims, but again, we do believe victims, but we also have to believe an innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And when you use the term stalking, stalker repeatedly, you're not even giving that person time. It never went. Like that person didn't even go through the court system. Just because they were given a temporary does not give somebody the grounds to continue on. And in that temporary, I got court documents. I'm not getting into that tonight, but I do have court records. And I think it's time we talk about some of that this week. Hey, witness protection, careful. Don't be slipping and falling. We're OSHA compliant. I would like to, Mom of 3. I would really like to. I hope we get to. I think it's only fair because right now we have a smear campaign, quite the opposite. Like she's talking about this whisper campaign. Well, she just got on a fucking loudspeaker and pulled the bullhorn Betty and is using her and her friends' channels who are well known in the true crime community to do a heckling campaign with the bullhorn about people that we have no confirmation that they're even stalking her. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Spy Waffle. Spy Waffle, I liked hers too. Hi, Crimology. Yeah, yeah, we'll talk about that. Hey, Blank Slate. Hey, K-Bird. Okay, let's get into it. Keep it moving. I'm sorry that you guys were. Justice Equalizer, we are doing great. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are too. Yeah, I'm really shocked by that. Hey, X. And I knew we would end up in this space at some point in time. Hey, Aries, hey, Lauren, that we're going to see people that we kind of all liked or thought were ethical do stuff like this, but evidence is huge. Hey, Shauna M. It is. It's the epitome of defamation at this point, and it's A heckler campaign. Hey, Jen. Hey, Hannah. All right. Hey, Fit and Curvy. Tinfoil Tiara. Yeah, it does. Hey, Danny. Snazzy Trinkets, thank you so much for being a member for 12 months. Hey, Tony Stark. All right. AK, thank you for the support. Thank you so much, sir. All right, let's go. Let's see what we get to. Of course, we're going to fair use this per usual. Did you guys see the trailer? Did any of you watch the trailer? Hey, we gob sheet. Yeah, but I don't know. Oh, that's touchy territory. And ex-workers, there's ways you deal with ex-coworkers too. I don't know. We'll talk about that. I just think there's a lot missing. I don't think I can show the trailer because, well, I should have recorded it. It was extremely dramatic. It like opens with this like exposed bullshit, and then let me see. Is it on his page? Let's go look. So this was the exposed cyber stalking and bullying is the thumbnail, but nope, he didn't put it up anywhere else. Did he put it in his post? They got a preview. Wow. Okay, hold up. Sorry, I got a problem now. So we have a members preview, 51 minutes long. Then we've got another post, and then we've got another post. And we've got her responding. Okay, this is a lot. This is a lot. All right, let's get into it. Let's go.
Good evening.
All I ask of you guys, you can have respectful conversations back and forth in the chat. As you know, you guys can ask all the questions. I probably won't have the answers, but feel free. Mr. Tomato Head, you're not going to get blocked here. Raven, you guys ask the questions, take part in the discussion as long as you guys are considerate to each other. You don't have to even like each other or like, just don't go. You know how it goes. I don't think we'll have any problems per usual, but feel free because I have the same questions you guys do.
Friends, and welcome to another edition of Crime Time with Duty Ron and Ed Wallace. You guys know the drill. We're retired.
And mods, if you need me, of course, let me know. I'll be flipping back and forth because I do have a few other things I want to inlay in this tonight too as we go. But if you need me, let me know.
New York City police detectives and 9/11 World Trade Center first responders. If you like all things true crime related from the police detective's perspective, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get all things Duty Ron and this guy right here, Ed Wallace, when we go live.
This is their typical intro, but with what we are seeing tonight, I did have a problem with their typical intro because, again, this has become a case of public opinion versus an actual court case.
Upload another video. Hey, tonight we want to talk about a subject that is very, very, it's a very dangerous topic, and we want to touch on this topic because...
Finn, did you happen to grab a screen recording of the trailer? That is something I forgot to do. I wish I would have done that because that was so dramatic, because what he had was talking about Lauren's case, and then he had horrific cases of stalking that led to murder. And that happens. Like, it is very, very extreme when they're misusing the words and the terms that they are, especially for people in the true crime arena. Like, that is, this is where professionals and people who were one-time law enforcement or have connections to law enforcement and professionals like mental health professionals and journalists, when they stop doing that and come to YouTube, people still see them as experts in certain arenas. And these experts overlook major red flags, and that's concerning to me, especially when they are leading the charge and telling a lot of these victim stories.
It involves a good friend of ours, hidden true crime, Lauren Matthias, and her family. Cyber stalking and
It was
bullying
terrible.
And the like online. We have touched on this in the
Horrible.
past, Ed. We did live streams for a lot of other creators who have been experiencing this, but we know that
Right.
it happens to the everyday Joe citizen. Everyday guys, gals get stalked and harassed online.
I don't know, Mercedes girl, about that situation. I'm not really sure.
On a regular basis. Doesn't matter if it's YouTube, doesn't matter if it's TikTok, whatever the platform. These actions have serious consequences sometimes, and sometimes people
Yes.
lose their lives based on the
The comparisons he made, and especially in that trailer, were so displaced to what this is and what we have evidence at this point in time. Now, again, I will lead with, I do think something's going on. I don't know what it is, though. I don't know if she's having problems with other people, if she has some sort of internal conflict going on, mental health struggle. And I'm not trying to diminish this in any way, shape, or form, but something is absolutely going on because we are seeing emotional impact of the people around her too. So something is going on somewhere. I just think it's being displaced and misplaced. And it's muddy in the water so much that I can't really sit back and be quiet.
harassment, stalking, and the rhetoric
It's
that
so
gets
weird.
fired up in between the conversations on Twitter and Instagram and X, and stories get twisted, and people that are somewhat angry with the particular creator or person could now be pushed over onto the other side of that fence. And I want you to talk.
Yeah, and I'm kind of sick of that weaponization of mental health when they don't consider that at oftentimes when we're talking about victims of horrific cases. And this is where this pisses me off, I'll be honest. The fact that these people cover horrendous, heinous crimes, and the comparison that they're trying to correlate here is such a slap in the face to some of the victims and the stories that they have covered. And that's why it feels so disingenuous.
A little bit about, what we're going to get into with our good friend Lauren from Hidden True Crime tonight. She's going to be joining us in a few minutes, Ed.
I also felt that set the stage right there. Our good friend Lauren, so you know where his loyalty lies, and that kind of was another way to garner and keep that loyalty. So if you support them, you're expected to support and get in line with her story. And they're weaponizing their subs. I'm sorry, it is. And it's emotional manipulation.
Whoops, I did that wrong.
They can be great friends, but that great friend relationship is obviously causing you bias.
Ed. Where did you go? There you go. Go ahead, Ed.
I can't stand bullying of any kind, whether it's kids at school, online, cyberbullying, whatever you want to call it. I have no place for that in my stomach. I cannot stand that. Okay. And nothing gets me more riled up than when parents.
And one thing I did learn as listening to bits and pieces of this is Ed Wallace didn't really know anything about this situation. He was caught up by Duty Ron right before the show aired and shown things
Of children who are bullies, start bullying children as well. But there's bullying and then there's stalking. No, these are two different things, but you can do both and be both, okay, at the same time. But now you're getting into...
Again, they diminish the capacity of these terms by doing what they're doing.
The world of Ron and I, and we're going to be giving you our perspectives as retired New York City detectives of how we had to deal with things like this in our careers, where women had to go and get orders of protection from our courts to help protect them from stalkers, ex-boyfriends, ex-husbands, things of that nature. And remember, I always tell you, stay prepared, stay safe, and watch your six. And it's for a reason, okay? Even though you get these orders of protection, they're just paper.
Okay, and that's misleading because she does not have a current order of protection. She withdrew her order of protection. So all she got was a temporary order of protection right before CrimeCon. The timeline is very interesting of how that all went into play. This has only been going on for 6 months. These people had a relationship previously. They were contractors of hers that she had do work for her. There's a work relationship involved in this. There's so much muddying of the water here that when you try to separate out and get to the real story, it's really nothing. There's the actual stalker that they're calling a stalker. Yeah.
Okay, you still have to take the appropriate protective actions for yourself and your family against these people. Now, when we were all kids, we can all remember this and relate to it. When we were all kids in school before the internet, okay, you had a bully at school. Well, there was a break from that bully after school was over and you went home typically. Okay. And you had your core group of friends in your neighborhood and that's where you hung out. And typically the bully wasn't in your neighborhood and was someplace else. So you had that break. It wasn't 24/7, 365. Now, as it is today with the advent of social media and the internet. Okay. People, people that are doing.
She does go on to say that she selected them. This is why I selected you. You selected them because they would give your story credibility, in my opinion, or you thought they would give you credibility because they are law enforcement officers or previous law enforcement officers. That is why you selected them, in my opinion.
Yes, you
nothing more, nothing less. And I've never seen somebody in fear for their life go on a press tour like this either. I just haven't. Withdraw the complaint from the courts, have no protection, and then do a press junket.
You are playing a very dangerous game. And a lot of what you're doing is criminal. And you have to be made aware of that your actions comes with consequences. Okay. I've locked up numerous people for violating.
AK, thank you again for the support.
Orders of protection in my career. Okay. And what I'm seeing here is very disturbing.
Yeah, it's troubling in many different ways, Ed. And, we look at many public figures. We have politicians who have been killed in recent history.
Okay,
we had political figures like Charlie Kirk as well, shot.
Okay. What, Ed? Or not Ed? Duty Ron? He's not a politician. He was a college debater on college campuses. Can we stop with that? He's not a politician. Yes, he was in the political realm, but he is not a politician. Can we just stop mislabeling shit and using these wild examples?
And killed.
Thanks. That would be really nice.
Over rhetoric and violent conversations of hate. And it doesn't matter if it's moderate or, strong hate. Anytime you're spewing negative things about people on social media, there's always
Justice Equalizer. There, I'll get into it more. She comes up and you'll kind of get a understanding. It is a true crime creator by the name of Lauren Matthias, who runs Hidden True Crime, claims that she is being stalked. She did a 9-hour live stream calling this person or saying the term stalk 440 times. Meanwhile, she withdrew her complaint from the court. She has nothing. She did that because Law and Crime was asking for camera access. Now, were they going to live stream the entire thing on their channel? We have no idea. They could have just been doing it to get clips for the ongoing story. There's a lot that unfolded here. There was stuff that happened at CrimeCon over the summer. There's just a lot that kind of mixes into this, but we'll kind of separate it out some. I've done 2 videos on this so far.
There's people who will follow that lead. Listen, this is, again, this is not something that's directly affecting us, but I could tell you that in my inbox on dutyron.com, at any given time, we get hate. We get people who say, hey, I don't agree with what you're saying. I don't like what you're saying. I don't like.
Welcome to the internet.
What you did. We, at my place of business where I work, we fire people on a regular basis. People get hired and people get fired. And in this case with our good friend Lauren, it seems like.
Our good friend Lauren, again, making sure you're all in check. This is where I stand. She is my good friend.
Was a business associate that was also mixed in with some type of friendship. And we're going to let Lauren Matthias from Hidden True Crime tell that story.
Yes, Trisha does run Web Sleuths, and she actually did a segment on this too and had Lauren's producer on the night after she did this 9 hours.
Did it in a long 9-hour marathon. It was emotional. You listen to different aspects of it. And some people, Ed, everyone perceives things differently. There's some people in the chat and some people online that said, I listened to 9 hours of Lauren and I got nothing out of it. Well, and then there's other people who say, I listened to Lauren for 9 hours and I got a lot out of it. So I wanted to host her because I told her, listen, we stand with you because I have personally.
I'll tell you what I got out of the 9 hours. A headache. and so many names of people that I have no idea. And most people didn't even know who the fucking stalker was by the end of it. Sorry if you're new here, I cuss a lot. Welcome to the shit show. It's blunt, it's raw, it's real, and it's just who I am. But 9 hours. The one thing we didn't get was evidence, proof, court papers. We got fluff and filler and a bunch of names that muddied the water to where people are running around calling all of these other people stalkers. But there is one person that she claims is a stalker. It was a production. They admitted it. They didn't know how they were going to pull this off. They prepped for it for days. They had all of this lined up. I'm proud of you, she said to her producer. Last night's stream was interesting if you want to go back and watch it.
Taken orders of protections out of people's pockets after they were killed.
Yeah.
I've responded to a domestic where a young woman had an order of protection against a friend, not even.
This is emotional manipulation because this has nothing to do with the story he's about to tell. And again, I'm sorry. Yes, these situations are horrifying. Stalking situations, domestic violence is a horrific situation that many have to go through, women and men. But to even attempt to compare this is disingenuous and emotional manipulation because it's nothing of the sort. Sophia, thank you so much for the support. I thankfully don't have a headache right now, but probably at the end of it we will.
And a significant other. This was a friend who turned into an enemy. And that girl stabbed this girl numerous times. And I pulled that order of protection. I'll never forget that.
No, we've had high-profile cases here with orders of protection laying right next to the victim. In New Jersey, there was one. She got an order of protection against her ex, and she tried to get a concealed carry permit from the state of New Jersey. They refused her, and he shot and killed her in her driveway. But like I said, with this day and age, with the internet, though, this is just beyond one person. One person may start.
Oh, and that's another thing I got in those 9 hours was that she told the victims that she has helped. She made sure to leverage that I've supported a lot of victims and done a lot of good for victims. She also mentioned her sub count, things of that nature. She leveraged that support though and kept them in line.
Okay. And then all these haters come out of the woodwork. Okay. And you never know what's going to trigger somebody to go beyond just words and do something fatal. Physical actions, okay, and commit a heinous crime because they were inspired by what they were seeing published on the internet.
Did you get that question answered, Amy? Probably not, I'm assuming. I would love to hear the answer to that. Absolutely would love to hear it.
Correct. And you said it well, Ed. Back in the day, prior to the internet, you would go home and you'd get a reprieve from your loved ones, your family, your friends. In this day and age, it's there. You can't get away from it. Every time you open your phone up, there's notifications that come up and so forth. But listen, let's grab our good friend Laura Mathias. Let's let her come in here and let's have a conversation about what she's experienced over the last several months. And I don't even know the exact timeline of how long this has been going on, but let's let her talk to our audience because we do share a lot of.
Tracy, from what I understand from looking at some of the court filings and things, there's a lot more to it, but we'll get into that more this week. Yeah, there's a short time frame there that matters. The dates from Boise and the interaction that the alleged stalker was not at. She wasn't at that dinner when the police were called to escort him over the street or to the other side of the street. But that actually plays a role in her getting the temporary order in Utah. Now,
similar subscriber base. So a lot of our people follow her and vice versa. Lauren, thank you for coming here and thank you for taking the time out of your family life to come and talk to us about this.
Absolutely. Well, I first off, just want to thank both of you for having me. Honestly, it was clearly very overwhelming to do. I never wanted to do it. I was clearly very emotional.
You produced it for days before. Again, your concern you stated was to stop them from being able to exploit your child's trauma. And then you put it out here yourself in a fully produced notes, everything, a full production, a full show. So stop saying that you didn't want to do this because nobody forced you to do this. you did this. You produced a show, and there you are.
I feel like my hand had been forced, and I didn't really know how to then appear back on YouTube, which is my work and what I do. And so I just want to first off thank the Judy Ron channel for being just a safe space for me to like come back on and break the silence after that marathon. So thank you to my friends, Ed and Ron.
That's the Crime Con, Tracy. That's Crime Con. I'm talking about the Boise incident.
So I'm doing okay. I'm back home with my husband, John. We're okay. We feel good. I still feel very scared. I know that I feel like I took my power back, but I also I'm still into like what's next. You know, I
feel like I took my power back.
That a lot of people are now doing lives about my live and
asking for the proof in the actual, for somebody who does true crime stories, the fact that she misses how important this is, and this isn't something new here that she just started doing. Do you guys know more about her history? Do you guys understand who Lauren Matthias is and where she started? Does everybody understand that at a baseline? If not, I can pull a few things and show you a few things so you might have an understanding of where she actually has came from. Because I think that's important to understand too, is who is this person and what is she talking about? Because so much is getting muddied here in this crazy situation. Oh.
So I'm just hunkered down and with my family, very grateful to be with them.
Gotcha.
And grateful that you called and reached out. And for everyone, I guess I want to say too, like, thank you to everyone that's reached out, creators, gems, everyone. We are getting the emails. Thank you. We did a little private Patreon will be, and I'll be back on YouTube after this, but thank you for allowing me to have a place to just come back and say hi.
I don't know who is saying, somebody is running around and saying that because she put it on Patreon, we are not allowed to use that. And she just feels more comfortable behind a paywall. She actually says something to the effect of she feels more comfortable behind a paywall. I find that to be very odd. So that $5 protects you some way, shape, or form. Huh? No, it doesn't. It's still in the public domain. Once it is put out there, we can use it and fair use it if we choose to.
I'm okay.
It takes time, Lauren. This is, bless you, Ed. This is not a normal thing. Look, we as law enforcement professionals, we're used to dealing with this. You know, I've responded to arguably thousands of domestic incident calls. Ed, same thing for him. But what we mentioned and what we can bring to this conversation is that the escalation of this and how this can spiral out of control. I want to just validate your fears. I want to say that, you know, as a mother, you as a mother, me as a father, and your husband, obviously, Dr. John as a dad, your first, you know, instinct is to protect your family and protect the vulnerable, your son. And
how is protecting her son coming on YouTube? And instead of following through with this protection order, she withdrew that and then decided to disclose documents that aren't even publicly, or she says were still private. I'm sorry, what? Okay, so a little history lesson on Lauren. So her maiden name is obviously Johnson. I can say this because it's all public. This is absolutely hers. Her website leads right to this page. Relationship coach, helping survivors of emotional abuse, narcissistic abuse, and former reporter. Okay, so if you go down here, it has some of her interviews and things that she did, her family, when her and John met, cases that she covered, interviews, things of that nature. It's all right here. But here's one.
A memorial.
This is the one that her and Dr. John met through this case.
To honor 13-year-old Olivia Schnacker, who died after...
Oh, maybe this is the wrong one. There's one of them that it's the guy. This is a different one, but this is kind of her, where she comes from.
Being hit by a car on Easter Sunday is left bare.
Olivia's mother drove by the memorial last night only to discover that the gifts and the memories that people left on the crosswalk where Olivia was hit were all gone. Lauren Johnson is live there at Ustick and Julian with much more. Lauren.
Dawn and Michelle, Mindy was shocked when she drove by here last night to find only.
See, I much prefer her eyebrows in this one. And again, I have to be petty and say something about the eyebrows because eyebrows drive me nuts. It's just a thing. It always has been. My own drive me nuts at times, okay? It's just a thing. But they look more natural here. Okay, bye.
Only this cross, as well as a ghost bike across the street, was all that was left of Olivia's memorial. The photos, the memories, the flowers, stuffed animals, all of those were gone. Today we know what happened.
I don't know.
So she started reporting for other places, but she was a relationship coach. That's how she got her start. She went from reporting to a relationship coach. You can go look at that website or that YouTube channel if you would like to. There's a bunch of other stuff up there. But she was a reporter, did some Boise stuff, and then her and Dr. John met. There's websites, everything,
And
back to this. This is where we are current time, but that's from 10 years ago and kind of who she was. Or
I have questions. I have a lot of questions to ask you.
And you're allowed to ask him. Do you want, just to make it fair, if you ask a question that I don't want to answer, I'll say I don't want to answer it. So I'm a journalist.
Don't worry. If you hear sirens in the background, they're just coming to take me away. Hee hee. I'm just joking. There's probably an accident on the road or something out here. Sorry, it's loud.
I can handle questions, ask away. I'm sure a lot of people are curious. Go for it. And I have some questions for you too. As law enforcement, I'll have questions for you too. So I hope this isn't just be a conversation among friends. Yeah. I think there are a couple of things I want to clear up. I think one of the big fair criticisms I've gotten or questions that I've gotten, maybe not even a criticism, but a question is, I cover criminal cases. I cover people's pain. It is true. I try to.
Molly, go lightly. Somebody said, oh my God, Becky's going to talk about this. Isn't she afraid of, these big YouTubers coming for her? The first person I came and reviewed was Molly Go Lightly, and she had like 80,000 subs when I first started reviewing her. Their sub counts don't bother me. What bothers me is people weaponizing our justice system. I don't care what size of channel they are. If they're weaponizing our court systems and doing things like this that take attention and time away from victims and the seriousness of these situations away from victims, I'm going to say something about it. And that's what she's doing.
Do it ethically. The crime is pain. And I cover trials and criminal trials. What is different with mine being live streamed? And I think I want to explain that the reason that civil stalking injunctions are not live streamed would be the same reason, or even reported on, would be the same reason that a child custody battle wouldn't be live streamed, or anything that has to do with really someone trying to escape an abuser, which is coercive control. Right. You've got intimidation, coercive control, things that you can speak to, fears of escalation, fears of people that don't like me finding out. And
what? And every time she tries to clarify something, sorry, I'm going to listen to this again and there's going to be a lot of that, unfortunately, because a lot of this I feel like the logical side of my brain is mush at this point in time, because I'm like, that doesn't even add up. That this doesn't make sense.
Are not live streamed would be the same reason, or even reported on would be the same reason that a child custody battle.
Right. They shouldn't be. There should be protections for victims in the courts for certain things, such as protection orders. But I didn't hear any of you speaking out when Bullhorn Betty and the Proudfoot and Bowersox, along with many other people that have accidentally been streamed in courts that they didn't feel comfortable in, because of the genre that you are a part of, who demands for more insight. And you say it's transparency for the court process and justice for the victims, when it's really not that. It's because you make a profit off of telling these stories and you want access to the courtroom. But then you don't want it to happen to yourself. Whatever.
Be live streamed, or anything that has to do with really someone trying to escape an abuser, which is coercive control. Right. You've got intimidation, coercive control, things that you can speak to, fears of escalation, fears of people that don't like me finding out, and it escalating, getting bigger and bigger to where it potentially becomes a more concerning, frightening situation. So the actual idea.
That's exactly what you did by doing this 9 hours, by not providing proof and answering logical questions and or doing your due diligence. You concocted and produced an entire story without any proof behind it or evidence to call people stalkers. You have amped up and weaponized your following to run around the internet and call these people stalkers and harassers And there's no proof
of a civil stalking injunction being reported on, in my opinion, is just so unethical. I want to point out too, as a journalist, someone with a background, I would never cover such a thing. And on our channel, we would never cover such a thing, just like we wouldn't cover, a child.
What? You would never you would never cover such a thing. I guess. Oh, my mouth is going to shoot off tonight. Let me stop myself and hit this button.
Custody battle. So I do want to explain that difference. And yes, though, I also want to humbly say, has it made me rethink even bigger how I'm going to cover crime in the future? Yes, we do try to be victim-centered. We do try to be aware. We do try to be careful. And I will continue to do that at Hidden True Crime, and maybe even become better at it and more empathic. But I did want to explain that difference.
Well, that was the first trial she ever attended, was her own father's for security fraud. That's actually something I think we should look at too, is her own story of how she got into all of this. And we should probably talk about the Mormon stories with John DeLynn. Again, I like John DeLynn, but it seems very intentional of who she is using to keep her reputation intact, or attempting to. A
little bit, because that was a big question out there. What's the difference between a criminal trial and what this was? And I, to this day, I'll never understand why they put in a media request and why they never reached out to me to understand more. But whatever. Yeah.
And one of my questions was going to be, and you beat me to the punch. It's one of on my list, and I have a whole list here. I have a whole notepad. Do you know why law and crime trials got wind, or how they got wind of this civil case? Because like you said, there are high profile civil cases that we heard of them covering. Johnny Depp, some of these other ones, you listed it, you mentioned it in your video that you did, the 9-hour video. Other creators that have a lot of drama surrounding them, and their cases where it's a civil case is out there in the news, and people are talking about it. The news goes.
He's specifically talking about Bullhorn Betty and the Proudfoots and the Bowersocks. That's what he's referencing. Again, rules for thee, but not for me. This is what the genre that they are a part of, this true crime genre. They are fighting for more access to tell these victim stories however they want to make the biggest buck. I'm sorry, that's what it is. They're profiting off of people's pain. They don't give a shit about the victims. They claim they do. Some of them do. I won't say Duty Ron doesn't, because I think he does a lot of good. But a lot of them mask this as this, oh, we care so much. And they want different treatment for themselves, but push for more access to the private matters of people who are actual private citizens. People going through their worst times. You can't have it both ways. And you can't make excuses because you dislike Bullhorn Betty, but you like Lauren. We can't. Just because she doesn't get out there with a bullhorn in their faces doesn't mean she's not there in person.
And tries to cover it, gives local coverage to it. But, it just seemed like, for me as a detective, I detected something stunk about this, that it was just weird that Law and Crime all of a sudden was focused in on Lauren Matthias and her civil case that she was in the process of moving forward. And Ed, you agreed with me when we were in the green room talking about this. It just didn't seem right. Can you speak on to that, or would you rather not?
No, I'll be willing. I don't know. So full disclosure, I don't know. To this day, Law and Crime has never reached out to me, ever, not even since. I do know that one creator named Lori Hellis did a live at the same time I was doing a live. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that was happening. And that she stated that she was sitting with my stalker and Anjanette Levy at CrimeCon when police were trying to escort my stalker out. By the way, I want to clarify that night was the night after the photos were taken, because there's some people saying that they were there.
Why does she expect? Here's the thing. This person, all of this RO shit, this temporary order, happened at CrimeCon. Law and Crime had people there. They were there. Their hosts were there. Do you expect people not to know? And again, we don't know who notified them. What if it was somebody from your camp? Because it's gone from what you call a whisper campaign to a full-on fucking heckling campaign. You're not using a bullhorn. You're using your friends with big channels and credibility in the true crime sector. It's the same freaking thing. It's just presented differently. And people need to understand manipulation is manipulation.
There were 2 nights. So the first night she was there. The photos were taken. We were sitting. We'd been there all night. And she was just there with a camera hanging around us in socks. The second night, I'll clarify this too, because people are telling stories. The second night,
hanging around us in socks. Oh my God, sounds so threatening. If you're in fear for your fucking life, are you going to the bar, drinking, doing all this, carrying on like everything's okay, but you notice the woman's wearing socks? You're scared for your life. Oh God.
Aurora PD was very well aware.
Right.
They actually referred to her as an agitator. They saw the evidence and what was happening. They referred to her as an agitator.
Where's the police document that shows that? Again, weaponizing terms that supposedly the police said, just like when BJ said, my police department said she's a stalker. Using the credibility of this conversation that supposedly law enforcement said she's an agitator. I believe it. I believe she is an agitator. She's actually boring to me. They're really like, I don't know.
They saw that she was in the bar.
I mean, can you imagine having the problems that these people do? Being, ugh.
Second night. And, you know, I hadn't been there. I'd been at the Clue Awards celebrating the Delphi victims receiving an award.
Right.
So she, you know, could technically be allowed in the bar as long as she was 500 feet from me. So the Aurora PD actually escorted us.
Save the socks. Hashtag justice for the socks. Hopefully they weren't white if she was wandering around a bar.
And said to me and my
thank you for the support.
Producer, go around the bar, go look and see if you can see her before you enter so that we can then ask her to leave. So we were requested by police to do that because there are rumors about how, you know, we were told to do that. So we'll
talk more about the debunking of her story here in the timeline and shit this week.
Looked, we saw she was there. And so we told the police officer on duty and they asked her to leave. And I do know, according to Lori Hellis,
she continues to bring Lori Hellis into this. Lori Hellis is not her stalker, but seems that she's got bad blood there too. But by proxy, because she was so attempting to muddy the water, a lot of people think Lori Hellis was the one stalking her, who is an attorney.
I can't think of her channel name, but she stated while I was going live that she was with Anjanette Levy, and
no, she didn't, Tracy. No, she didn't bring herself into it. This is another ex-coworker situation of her and Lauren. These people were all connected colleagues at one point in time. Their fallout has escalated into this, but no, she didn't bring herself into this. They were at one time coworkers or co-hosts. She used to be on podcasts with her all the time.
My stalker when approached. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. I'm just relaying what one creator stated, but I don't know. I don't want to put any blame on anyone because, like I said, I don't know. I was just absolutely shocked. And I'll tell you this too, as someone that covers trials, this was very interesting, but we had heard, my team of attorneys, and I had heard like 3-4 days earlier.
There we go again with my team of attorneys. Intimidation factor. My team of attorneys. We had heard. Why do you need a team of attorneys? Why not my attorney heard? She knows. She's a journalist. She knows exactly what words to use, exactly what emotions to turn on, exactly how to tell these stories to amp up the emotional control.
That there had been a media request, and when there is a media request, you know this, you find out who's requesting to be pooled or what they're requesting. You're like, oh, Court TV is asking to be pooled. We'll see, you know, if it gets approved or not. It's in there. It's on the docket. You can see it. And we could see there was a media request, which was shocking. We couldn't see who. So I thought, oh, maybe it's a small YouTuber, like trying to get in, you know, their hearing. And so our attorneys called the court and said, hey, can you tell us who the media request is for? And they said, we can't actually, because it went from somebody straight to the judge's desk. And so we can't see who it's for. And we're like, huh. And so we wrote, which I read on my 9-hour live, a very lengthy reason as to why there should never be media in a civil stalking injunction, and my specific civil stalking injunction, why I'm in danger. And like I said,
she's doing this whole portrayal that she's standing up for other victims by, you know, them writing this letter of why videos, again, yeah, it's something that shouldn't have access to stalking hearings, things of that nature. There needs to be better regulation within the courts. Our justice system is so screwed up.
This is someone trying to escape.
But she's doing that intentionally to make people feel like she's still fighting for the victims while protecting herself.
A coercive control issue. And then I was actually at my attorney's office when it was approved, and they were like, it was a long crime. And so I will never know why they did that.
Have you tried reaching out to them? You expect all these people to reach out to you. You expect all of these people to come chasing you. Why didn't you just reach out to them and say, hey, who let you know what's going on here? The fact that you've avoided that and you yourself haven't reached out to them says that you already might, to me, it says that you might know who gave them the drop. Or was it just because of the incident at CrimeCon, which was very public?
Yeah, they're not checking the Utah Civil, and I will never know why they didn't reach out to me and how this happened.
Yeah, interesting. I want to switch gears just a minute because, you know, I got a little ahead of myself here about asking about Lauren crime. But another question that I had for you, and I think a lot of people want to know, and I do believe that you gave quite a detailed explanation of this, is, do you know, Lauren, why this is happening to you? Why and how this started? Can you give a overview to folks who might not be clear on this, is exactly how and why when these wheels started turning and the turn of events that led to where
you're speaking of the temporary Kristen and Co. Are you talking about the temporary injunction? Is that what one you're talking about, that she was there for that with the temporary? Because the other one she withdrew. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, or is there another one that
we are today? I'm
missing.
Yeah. And then if you want to jump in and tell me why you really think it's happening, let me know. You know, like I say, I'm hidden true crime. We're proud to say that we have the hidden motives, but at this point, you being law enforcement, maybe you can help me understand. But I can say in general, the TLDR, for those that
I don't know how they've been so silent, but good on them. I mean, hey, if I had a defamation suit of a press tour of somebody going around and defaming me, I might learn to be silent too. But you all know me, this mouth goes.
Didn't like, they can't handle watching a 9-hour live stream, is I have a business that was growing, and
business that was growing. Sounds to me like you're worried about the impact of your financial that you mentioned multiple times in your 9-hour stream too.
I had contract workers, and one of them quit unhappy. And then I had another.
The fact that he just pinned this comment, oh, you guys can't see it right here, says a lot to me. Says a lot to me. Why would you pin a comment from this one? Who said this?
For this, and I'm going to tell you, yep, that's exactly what I did. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Yep, that's exactly what you do. All right? We all stand with Lauren, I hope. Everybody's playing this video today, and it's odd because people that do this to other people on other channels are playing this. And you know what they're saying? They're saying the difference between Lauren being stalked and the people on YouTube being stalked is that the people on YouTube are fat and ugly and stinky and they dress bad.
This person just fucking concoct wild stories to you all the time, it seems.
Can you believe that?
No, it's not believable because that's not what's happening. Carry the fuck on.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So why the fuck are you saying it?
The stalker could be anyone in this.
Anyone, everybody hide. The stalker could be amongst us. Right now, there is no stalker.
Room, and I agree. I know who her stalker is, though. All right, let's go.
Yeah, because she named her.
I've never been more nervous for a live in my entire life, and I've done a lot of lives or a show in my entire life, and this is not a live or a show that I ever wanted to do or ever thought I would have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been ongoing for months, what I have been dealing with. This is not drama, hidden true crime.
Yeah, by the way, I saw some people in her chat saying, I'm unsubscribing.
I'm just getting to one more part and then we'll go back.
It's drama. This is not drama, guys. This is, in fact, real life, and real people can get really hurt. I mean, I'm welcome to, and I probably do need to have security when I go to CrimeCon because I don't know who's going to pop up there. There's a lot of people that don't like me.
Yeah, I wonder why, because you're quite the storyteller. Anyways, carry on. But that's who Judy Ron just pinned on the screen. The person with under 30,000 subs who needs security for CrimeCon next year. Yep. These people, they are celebrities in their own heads.
Contract worker who I then terminated. And then
When you handle relationships around business and employees and contracts differently. Because currently you're the one out here doing a heckling campaign against your ex-employees.
Had them, then I had the friends, and then there were friends. Two contract workers. Like I should say, the stalker was also a contract worker. Although oddly, she says on her TikTok accounts targeting
the stalker. There we are again. The stalker. Where's the proof that she was stalking you?
me that she was just an ex-friend and never a TikTok worker, but I have plenty of invoices showing she was. And so you've got two ex-contract workers contacting another ex-contract worker, and then you've got this stalker that's actually reaching out to every person I confided might have a beef with me from my past, and they're getting a larger and larger group together. I think their ultimate thing of power is that in private conversations, I said mean things about people, and that they have the receipts and that they know. And then what this,
again, back to they have receipts of me being a shitty ass person behind the scenes. Okay, handle it. Why are you so afraid of this getting out? What did you do? What did you say about all these people? Because this is excessive.
Group did is then start reaching out to other people to join the fold.
We're speeding it up.
I call it a whisper campaign, where it's all behind the scenes. And I can tell you, like, this is actually, I get a lot of texts all the time. My phone was silent. Like, I don't know how far this went, and
my phone was silent. Nobody was reaching out to me and texting me. Okay, big deal. Take a break. Yay. Good for you.
Then we're getting whispers and threats, and a few things are
whispers and threats. Where's the threats?
Coming out, and someone's finally calling me saying, hey, I got a call from this person. And I'm like, that person? And
what does this have to do with you being stalked? It doesn't, because the ex-employees, well, you said that she was hired for some artwork. Oh God, this is so muddy.
They're telling me, people I've interviewed, people I love, to never trust you again, that you're evil, like that you are really bad. And, things like that. It just continues, just like, but it all leads back to what I just told you, ex-contract workers. That all roads lead back to the ex-contract workers and their friends.
And do something about it civilly with your contract workers.
And then, it just goes bigger and bigger. No one reaching out to me, by the way, not even.
Here she goes again, confirming that nobody reached out to her. She wasn't getting these threats. Nobody was reaching out to her, threatening her. Nobody was reaching out to her. Nobody was contacting her. They were just talking shit behind the scenes of how shitty she was about people. Okay. And now we've escalated to stalking.
Long crime. And
law and crime again. Law and crime, are you going to come out and say something? Are you going to make a statement about this? Asking for me.
Getting bigger and bigger to the point where there's this giant snowball. I don't know right from left. And then it gets to the point where I'm trying to reach out to people to understand. Oh, a Proton email goes out. And
oh my God, not a Proton email. Oh no. Clutches pearls.
This is where it gets strange too, because I'm thinking, oh no, some of my private texts have gotten out. I'm ashamed. I'm not perfect.
Welcome to a bunch of women that can't handle friendships ending, and they do everything like that. You're not alone. That's what a lot of them do.
It's embarrassing. But then there's a Proton email that goes out, meaning Proton is a protected thing where it's anonymous, and it goes out while I'm covering the Brandon Boudreaux trial, Lori Vallow representing herself, and it says that I've talked shit about all these people that actually aren't people I've talked shit about. So now I'm like, okay, now it's a smear campaign. This isn't actually even what I've actually said.
Right,
now it's
Lisa, right.
Now, okay, I haven't talked shit about these people. One of them's like my best friend. So I'm like, what's going on? So that's happening. I'm trying to reach out to people right and left to figure out what's going on. And then
she's the one reaching out, panicking about what people are learning that she said.
And no one will pick up my phone calls or talk to me. So
nobody's still talking to her. So again, how did all this harassment and bullying happen when you were the one that had to go seek out what was being said? They weren't coming to you with it. Again, you're confirming that nobody was bringing this to you. You're not being threatened. They're just making sure everybody knows. And again, I'm not okay with them calling her family and friends and stuff like that. But the only thing we have proof of is that they potentially reached out to UNLV with Dr. John. That's what we have proof of.
User reaches out to a creator who says they want my head on a platter and that I better brace myself because it's going to go viral and it's bad. And
head on a platter. Somebody wanted her head on her platter.
She continued to say brace ourselves over and over again. It was so scary.
Last time I heard somebody say they wanted somebody's head on a platter, I didn't actually think they meant to put their head on a platter. But then again, these people live in the true crime world. So common sayings are now these like, they mean that they're actually going to put her head on a platter.
Again, with my phone being silent, no one talking to me, the threats that I've spoken about people I haven't, that I called the police because they're like it.
She called the police. Hey, ring-a-ding-ding, Popo. It's me over here. Did you happen to find out the gossip and rumors I started when I shit-talked all these people? Could you let me know? Ring-a-ding-ding. 911, what's your emergency? Ma'am, I need to find out who I shit-talked because none of my friends will talk to me. Can you help me out? Ma'am, this is your emergency. Yeah, it's an emergency because I have a big YouTube channel and it might affect my income because I was shitty to victims behind the scenes and I don't want them knowing. So, can you help me trace that down? Thanks.
They want my head on a platter and people turning on me that I thought were my friends too. Like, so, and now they're saying that I'm abusing the police. Like there's nothing I can do that's right. I'm like spinning my wheels, right? Like I call the police. Now I'm abusing the police.
What did you call the police for though? That's the problem. What did you call? You're talking about emails that were going around. Here you go with a bunch of word salad again, and people are getting so lost, including myself. Why did you contact the police? They weren't threatening you. They weren't contacting you. You had contracts that were gone. You fired these people. They were already out of your life. So why are you contacting the police when none of them are coming to you, calling you, sending you anything? They're just releasing stuff behind the scenes. Why didn't you call your team of lawyers?
I take it lying down. They just keep punching. I gray rocket, meaning you stay silent. You don't respond. It doesn't stop. And then after that, brace yourself. Multiple accounts happen. I actually only said on my live that there was a TikTok and Instagram. I had no idea she had a YouTube too. But, so multiple accounts, a Twitter, whatever it's called, X recently started.
Oh my God, not 4 accounts. Holy shit.
and just every other day threatening cyberbullying on all of these accounts, saying they
Sabrina Carpenter, her song lyrics are really threatening people.
have something on me. And then it also makes me wonder, what did I do? What did I do? Maybe I am bad. You know, I have things I'm ashamed of that I said.
Sounds like you have a lot of things you're ashamed of that were said. Carry on.
And the scenes I do. So then you start questioning yourself, and I'm like, I am a bad person. Like, what did I do? What do they have? And that's kind of, my husband's taught me, like, coercive control and intimidation. Like, we have the receipts. A lot of people have been saying for about 5 months they've got the receipts. But just repeat it, and it's been going on for months, and I actually ignored it for months.
Then if you don't give a fuck, don't give a fuck. Find that energy. I don't give a fuck. Let them fly. If they're to release your messages and try to paint a narrative, oftentimes they look worse because everybody confides in friends. There's pretty normal, but sounds to me like you were really worried about what were in those messages. You need to find your don't give a fuck era. Let it fly.
Months and months and months. It got bigger and bigger. Like I said, I have been canceled on news organizations.
Right.
So not knowing how or why, and then I'm finding out, I think the scariest part for me was also finding
NorCal. I don't know if you heard it earlier. People are in my comment section of my videos where I am still not even being mean to Lauren. Not in any way, shape, or form, just asking logical questions of like, what are you doing here? Like, what is going on here? This is really getting to be gross. Instantly, I am now friends with Lindsay and Christina. I don't even fucking know these people. Sorry, nope.
out that this the person on all the accounts saying bad things about me, cyberbullying me, is then calling people that she knows that I have beefs with and riling them up, like from years ago. And she's reaching out to people where I'm realizing that just that alone is a violent act. Like, when you have,
it's a violent act. Again, intentional choice of words. She is a seasoned journalist, a seasoned relationship coach, according to her other YouTube channel. She knows very well of what she is doing and is very intentional with the words she is using. She actually wants validation from these police officers.
Then I'm finding out, I think the scariest part for me was also finding out that this the person on all the accounts saying bad things about me, cyberbullying me, is then calling people that she knows that I have beefs with and riling them up, like from years ago. And she's reaching out to people where I'm realizing that just that alone is a violent act. Like, when you have
a violent act,
a problem with somebody from the past, and it maybe didn't end well, and they're calling them and they're
uncomfortable, violent, that's a excessive word.
Instigating their anger and their then it got.
How many people are from your past that are this angry with you still?
Very scary. And so I was very fearful to go anywhere, and I was going to go actually to the Adelson trial. And because of this, that's why I didn't go. I reported from home, and then it kept getting, so then I learned, like, there's more people coming.
If you didn't do anything and you're proud of what you said and it's not a big deal, like you vented to people that you were close to and they were going to release those, hold your head up high and go do your job. I don't understand this.
From my past. And I'm like, what are they doing? And then the TikToks are saying, we're trying to find her LinkedIn. Isn't it strange? She doesn't have a LinkedIn. I can't figure out.
Hey, Pecan, good to see you.
Who's linked with her? In other words, I can't call.
Yeah.
And then they're saying, okay, I've called UNLV now. That's where my husband is.
But here's the thing, that's by design. True crime creators. And again, if you're new here, I'm not a true crime creator. I'm an asshole with a YouTube channel and a lot of opinions. I don't like true crime creators that are unethical, say they're victim-centered, and take away from the victims. And a lot of them do, and misinform and lie and do all that stuff. That's what my channel is about. Anyways, and I just talk a lot of shit, and I love mini cows. So if you're new here, I do not do true crime. I actually really, really dislike people like this who weaponize and use our court systems and or shit on the victims repeatedly. This is by design, though. The intentional word salad that she is doing, because she doesn't have an exact, this is what happened, she has got to fill it and fluff it. So by the time that you remember what was asked here, was what started all of this. She's got you so confused and you think all of these things happened by one person. No, she's talked about like 5 or 6 different people, and she's trying to emotionally pull people in. She knows exactly what she's doing.
An adjunct professor, and they're saying that they're exposing my husband, who has nothing to do with this.
Actually, he does. Unfortunately, he does, because he is co-owner, I'm assuming, of the Hidden True Crime channel. He himself is a co-host.
And people have been wondering why he hasn't been on YouTube, and we've only been doing Patreon episodes, angry that, you know, we're putting my co-host behind.
Welcome in, Kelt, and anybody else that's new here. I say a lot of cussy words and talk a lot of shit, and yeah, that's where we're at. So feel free to talk away, say what you want, ask the questions you want.
Paywall. Well, yeah, because we feel safer behind a paywall. That's, you know, he had a board complaint recently. He had to defend, which he defended, and it was ridiculous. Like, it's just like, I didn't mention that on my live either. Right. There are more Patreon emails. There's more stuff going on. I mean, I know that I covered it for 9 hours, but
there's more. Here we go. There's more.
Didn't cover everything going on. You know, and and then
okay.
And then you can't explain it either. Like, I'm not this person. So you know, I don't know. I don't see. I'm already. It's so hard to explain, which is why I did a 9-hour live. I'm like, no one can believe this. And
because you didn't provide proof of what your allegations are. Your allegations were here, and your proof was over yonder, down the road, up 4 miles in 6 feet of snow. We still have not seen anybody find it yet.
Fear, unless if I was going to say it, I had to say it, you know? So I spent
Can I jump in here and say something?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, for people saying that, oh, this isn't restraining order stuff, that this is just mean girl behavior. Well, I'm sorry, this is beyond mean girl behavior. They have crossed the line into the criminality. Okay.
How? Where's the criminal aspects of this, Ed?
Constant threats, emails, text.
She just said, Ed, that they were not reaching out to her. She was hearing things from the rumor mill of other people. They were not contacting her. Ed, that's what she just said. They were not. She was the one reaching out to find out why people were giving her the cold shoulder. She was the one. They're sending Proton emails about a viral moment. Okay. Sorry, one email? Now she says there's more, but the other night she showed everything. She was showing everything.
Videos and so forth. The crime there would be aggravated harassment.
Try being a sub, not even a limited public figure, not a creator or anything. And they have an entire group where they release your driver's license, contact your family, get them on. Yeah, try that. We've seen that. It's horrific.
Okay. Contacting other people and from the past that may have had a beef with Lauren and so forth. Now we start getting into aggravated harassment and conspiracy. Okay. Then making any.
Oh, and this right here is where I get annoyed. Aggravated harassment and conspiracy. You're creating a conspiracy because you're not even listening to what she just told you. They weren't reaching out to her.
Type of threat over the internet, besides, is a federal crime. And we're talking about making terroristic threats. Okay. I mean, if this was a beef between an employer and a contractor,
where is the terroristic threats? Again, she showed nothing, and she just admitted publicly that they were not reaching out to her, Ed. Where's the terroristic threat?
Legal ways to deal with this.
Correct. If she had a disagreement with contract workers, there is appropriate means within the court system to handle contracts and employment situations. That's a whole other situation. And sometimes they can escalate to an RO or a protection order or no contact order. But there are other areas of opportunity within the legal system to handle contract issues or release of private material, things of that nature.
Civil court, okay, or criminal court, depending on if there are being or crimes are being alleged about an employer contract with a contractor. Okay, now if this was some other kind of beef, okay.
Hey Jay, thanks for coming in.
Well, you've taken that beef to an unreasonable level. Okay. And you have to step back and take a look at what's going on here.
Right.
Okay. This is not normal, folks. This is not normal.
The use of terms in this situation from all of these people that are perceived to be experts or police or some sort of authority figure in this true crime space is extremely dangerous. It really is. But they're weaponizing their audiences, and they went from this whisper campaign that they're all now part of a heckling campaign against a bunch of people based on what we have as rumors and gossip and her own words. That's it.
And it's unreasonable. And a judge already issued a restraining order. Okay. Evidence was presented and the judge saw it. Now, let me.
No. What? We need to have a conversation, Jay. I didn't know that. What? See, this is why I'm so thankful that you're covering this shit too, because I have somebody to bounce my ideas and my thoughts off of.
Step back even further. Having seen the video of the Aurora Police Department encounter at the crime con, okay, she's lucky she walked away.
Huh? Nonsense? Teeny tiny? Nonsense? It's nonsense. Or you can call me appropriately Becky, the bitch. I don't think I know all. I think I can adequately decipher that we're being served word fucking salad. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. Teeny, take your hurt fifis and go on. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
If I was given that order of protection from a complainant and I read it and there's the person within 500 feet doing exactly what the order tells her she can't do, and after talking to her, I find out she knew about it and she was served and she has a photograph of it sent to her.
True.
Okay.
I do.
The bracelets come out and she's in cuffs and she's leaving CrimeCon with me.
Violating an order of protection is a crime.
That's right.
She did it.
She absolutely could be. She's not my cup of tea. I can already tell you that. Her TikToks are boring. Like, get a little oomph behind them, at least. I could have shown, look at my shorts. You just use their words. Like, she didn't even, oh my God, the fucking deal that they made out of her using her voice in some of those TikToks, and then like the song lyrics. Oh, she's going to mention that. Just wait. I cracked myself up too, Teeny. Welcome to the shit show.
Several times, but see, people in the chat, Ed, are saying, well, I didn't see or hear any threats. Threats don't have to be direct. And when you tell somebody, which they told Lauren, that creators, or I think they said plural, many people or many creators want your head on a platter.
Duty Ron.
That's a threat. It's an idle.
Duty Ron.
Threat. And people don't understand.
That's not even a Duty Ron. Why are you doing this? So disappointing. Now, if somebody said that they were actually going to do that, but that's the thing, is people weren't even reaching out to her. Where's the threat to her? Oh, her business being damaged when the truth got out about things she was saying to people? The threat to her business, not her life?
That you can't just go around saying, we're going to ruin you, we're going to do this. And the amount of not only psychological torture we saw and heard Lauren talk and get so vulnerable on that live stream, that 9-hour live stream, she talked about harming herself. I mean, this is not something that she had to share with everybody, but she wanted to share it to show you with full transparency the enormity of what these events are doing to not only her, but her entire family. Her husband's blood pressure raising up, her.
Right. His blood pressure could have raised because of her being gone all the time too. There's many factors that could have gone into John's health declining. Age, weight, health, life. There could be many other contributing factors that went into his health. So to try and pin it on just these rumors in the background is excessive, I would think. And then again, the things that are happening with their son, she chose to make public. And I got, never mind.
Son asking questions. This is not
Why would the son be asking questions if they kept it away? They chose, again, I think it's logical to have a conversation with the online dangers. But why would your 8-year-old know enough to have that bad of an impact on their mental health?
Regular, normal, good human behavior. This is beyond it. Ed,
Now,
go.
Lauren, the incident at the bar restaurant with her videotaping your party, okay? She was well within 500 feet, okay?
Yeah.
This occurred after the police confrontation at CrimeCon.
That night.
That night. So she knew she was given a break by the police. She knew
She was told by the police that she could be in the bar as long as she wasn't within 500 feet.
about the restraining order, the order protection. And then that night she goes out and violates it again. Now, any reasonable person looking at this should understand this is not reasonable behavior. This is not normal behavior. That something is wrong here. Okay. And
That
she
day-
could have been arrested in the bar.
Yeah, I also want to point out that she also posted that day. This is how
Jesus.
subtle it is, how vague. No one else would notice, but she knows that I'm watching, right? Because
She had under 400 subs when Lauren made this public.
I've filed something. So how vague it is. She posts on the TikTok targeting on me, or all the counts, her smiling and the lyrics to Worms, which is an Eminem song. Go look up the first verse. So I don't want to misphrase it. Google it and read the first lines of Worms. So after she was served by Aurora police, shared her
Not a freaking Eminem song with lyrics. Oh no.
smiling, doing a verse of this song, then showed up in the bar. And do you see the words? Something about the plaintiff. I think.
I'm gonna play it if you don't mind. Is it okay if I play that TikTok?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. If you don't want me to, I won't.
No, go ahead.
Look, this is her entire TikTok. I went and showed Ed before we went live. It's like almost every one of her created TikToks on that account, or indirectly, or she doesn't mention you by name, and that's where people are getting caught up. Ed.
Yes, she doesn't mention her by name. Even the voice clips that she plays. Okay, and people don't have to like her. People can say stuff. People can mock her. She is a public figure. She claims a limited public figure. She's a public figure.
I know you might have something to add to this. This girl, Christina, does not mention Lauren by name, but everything that she's doing has to do with her. She's soured up that she was let go from her contracting duties with Hidden True Crime, and she didn't want to make a clean break. She wanted to say, hey, I got these conversations. And
then she should have handled it as a contract issue.
You were honest enough to admit, hey, sometimes, I did say she was annoying. You know how many times I say my producer, Kristen, annoys me? I say it like maybe 3 times a day, but she annoys me and I love her and she knows it, so we have this open line of communication. So if I were to inadvertently fire her and say, hey, you're done with me, she could show you a bunch of messages of like, hey, Dirty Ron told me to stop it, or had a stern conversation with me. This is what happens when you have a relationship with someone who's working for you.
Well, I want to point out that while that was a certain part of the song, the beginning of that song, the lyrics are shoot the bailiff, karate kick the plaintiff.
But that's not even the part of the song that's on the freaking TikTok. So although the song starts like that, that's not even played on the TikTok.
After I served her.
Yeah.
So, but nobody's going to pick that up, but I am.
Yeah.
Because you were looking for something to try and make a big deal out of.
The people sitting her at CrimeCon in the bar when she's like, I didn't do anything. I'm being attacked by a public figure. I bought my ticket here first. This is so sad.
Yeah, let me talk about that from a law enforcement standpoint. It doesn't matter when she bought her ticket. Okay, the order was in place, signed by.
It does matter when she bought the ticket because they all knew they were going to be present in attendance of CrimeCon. This was all done right before CrimeCon. She only needed protections right before CrimeCon. Come on, Ed. Come on, Duty Ron. Use your detective skills. Come on, you guys. Look at the entire timeline. Look at when Lauren went and applied for that temporary protective order. Look at how it all happened. I think both of them are shits in this situation and weaponizing shit.
By a judge. Okay. Once that order is signed by a judge and in place, The fact that she bought a ticket a year in advance or whatever the case may be is meaningless. It has no weight of law. She's committing a crime by being within 500 feet. The fact that she bought a ticket a year in advance doesn't mean shit. Okay? She was served. She knew what she wasn't supposed to do by order of the judge. She violated it. End the story.
She didn't violate it. They didn't give her a violation. You can say she violated it. That's your opinion. Guess what? She wasn't charged with a violation. She wasn't arrested. So what your perception of this incident wasn't what the on-duty officers that dealt with her. She was not violated on this temporary order. I think that was the intent and the hope, but she wasn't. They told her on body camera, you can be in the bar. You can be in the hotel. You just have to keep 500 feet away.
I want to point out too that I did not.
I would have been the obnoxious bitch that would have walked around with a goddamn tape measure. I would have found something 500 feet long and made me a stick and just walked around with it. Oh, stay away. You can't come within 500 feet of me. I would have had to have like 5 people hold it up and help me just to be that asshole. But are you fucking joking? This is such a waste of fucking
not
court resources.
Share. I did not share her TikTok account with you guys. You went and found it on your own, right? Duty Brown? I did not.
No, you definitely didn't share it. You definitely didn't share it. I found it because, look.
Yeah, I do too.
All you have to do is a little detective work.
I agree.
I wanted to know a little bit about, because I want to be able to see a little bit of the other side of it, and I wanted to actually see what you were talking about.
Yeah.
So I did go on my own and look, and I would never leave a nasty comment for somebody. I don't do that, and I love that you encouraged during
this part
9-hour live stream, Lauren, because not many creators would do that. You encourage people not to cancel people, not to go over and leave comments.
She knew exactly by saying that exactly what these people were going to do. She said, don't go do that, aka do that. They're coming in my comments and saying, you must be friends with. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm just logical.
On your behalf. You can't stop people from doing it, but you made the statement, which was...
She also made all of this public and brought a whole shit ton of names. We're bringing the whiteboard out this week, girls and guys. We're bringing the whiteboard out and doing what we did with the dog handler situation and going to list all the names and write the story. Because when you break it down to how much is actually spoken of the alleged stalker in that 9 hours, plus all of the other people and stories and situations and hurt fifis and feelings and bad words and yada yada, it just doesn't land.
Very, very unique. Not many people would do that. So it's one of the many reasons why I'm friends with you, is because I love that you put the victims and their families first. We do that here. And everybody who knows us, I've been doing this since 2019.
Once again, using the whole friend thing.
And I started out just, in my car and, walking around with a phone, and developed into a studio setting. But Ed and I are about educating, keeping people safe, giving the forensic side to these.
And please, next time you decide to educate on something, do the background and see what you're actually working with beforehand. So you're not gaslighting your audience.
Cases, and also helping people understand what's right and what's wrong. And in this instance here, what you've laid out, it shows everybody what's wrong with society, where people feel that it's okay to become a band of gang type mentality, where you...
And this is so displaced. And for law enforcement, ex-law enforcement officers in true crime, labeling people a gang mentality.
You take your beef that's one-on-one, or maybe with you and another person, or whatever the case may be, it's a small grouping, and now make it into a whole big bunch of people who are now, slandering and trying to...
Guess who named that group of people? Lauren. Guess who brought that publicly? Lauren.
Get your husband in trouble with his employment or what he does, and none of it has worked. But it just goes...
Again, I don't agree with them going in real life and contacting people. I don't. But we're still not escalating to what they're doing.
Just to show you that, the steps that people will take is just so ridiculous. This is childish high school stuff,
Can I ask, as law enforcement, like knowing that you went...
Here we go.
And you looked and you found it on your own, I mean, I guess I could use a little bit of validation. I mean, what did you guys think when you saw?
I guess I could use a little bit of validation. Huh.
None of it has worked, but it just goes to show you that, you know, the steps that people will take is just so.
The way she asked this really grossed me out.
So ridiculous. This is childish high school stuff, you know?
Can I ask, as law enforcement, like knowing that you went and you looked and you found it on your own, I mean, I guess
Found it on your own, ma'am? Really?
I could use a little bit of validation. I mean, what did you guys think when you saw her accounts?
Ed, I'll let you go first.
What's that weird puppy dog look that she just gave there? What the fuck was that? You need better acting classes.
Her accounts.
What is this? What's this face, Lauren? What's this?
Ed, I'll let you go first.
It's not normal behavior. Okay, there's something wrong.
Don't look at my shorts. Straight to fucking jail. Do not pass go. Good Lord. I used Bloodhound Gang. The roof is on fire. Oh no.
Okay, and I believe your name is hashtag attached to these.
Yeah, that's
okay.
true. Anyone that can actually, it's true. Anyone can find it. All they have to do is type in Lauren Matthias on TikTok, and I actually think her videos are the first ones that pop up because she does hashtag.
Again, promoting the alleged stalker's TikTok that was under 400 subs.
My name.
So why is it linked if it's not associated to you?
That's exactly what I did to find it, Lauren. Because I didn't know her name. You didn't share her name. You actually you blurred her face out.
Really? You know, receipts matter.
Dunster. I do. Remember what we decided. Thank you. Please do not give them air.
About today.
What?
About today. You sent her a cease and desist. You had the cops talk to Christina about stuff that you did. You shouldn't be waving it.
So she plays the video with her name, but that's not all.
Talking to you.
Wendy doesn't want to talk to her. She sent her a cease and desist letter. Why wouldn't you want to talk to her?
The cease and desist is letter to Christina, and the police calling Christina. I didn't request that.
I can't hear
someone,
you.
Just stay away. Someone that stay away. Just stop acting like nothing happened.
It's said outside of that video multiple times too, but she absolutely played things with her name in it intentionally, and she said her name multiple times herself. Stop with the bullshit. She absolutely said her name multiple times in this stream.
You went extra steps to not dox her fully.
Correct.
You know, maybe in a couple of the papers there was little slips, and you were like, "Oh,
No.
oops!" But you took that extra step to protect her identity, which most people wouldn't. They would be like, "F you! I'm just gonna. Here it is. Everybody can go see it." So I searched your name in the search bar of TikTok, and all of this stuff came up, and all of the other, as I call them, jagaloons, these are adults who act like children, are on there saying their piece about you. And, you know, the funny thing, Lauren, is there's a lot of people who will talk, and Ed and I get it too. You're not alone. We get this stuff where people know nothing about us. I had just yesterday, you know, I'm fighting cancer. I'm fighting all of these little side illnesses from lymphoma. And I'm going back and forth to Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, and I haven't done live streams like in a month steady. And I get back into it just last week, and someone leaves a comment. What do you do with all your super chats and your money? Do you donate it to anybody? Do you give it to anybody? Like a nasty comment, somebody who never left a comment. And I just simply responded as like, you obviously don't know me, because I donate so much of the money that I make here to people who need it and to good causes like EquiSearch Midwest, who search for the missing. I donated over $20,000 to them. So, like, not to get off of this topic of you, is just that.
Again. Oh, why?
I'm trying to make a point that people come and attack us, and they don't know anything about us. So a lot of these.
Why does that matter? How much you've donated? Again, I'm glad that you have. But why?
All your super chats and your money. Do you donate it to anybody? Do you give it to anybody? Like a nasty comment, somebody who never left a comment. And I just simply responded as like, you.
Why do you ignore? Like, why don't you ignore?
Obviously don't know me, because I donate so much of the money that I make here to people who need it and to good causes like EquiSearch Midwest, who search for the missing. I donated over $20,000 to them. So, like, not to get off of this topic of you, is just that I'm trying to make a point that people come and attack us and they don't know anything about us. So a lot
All right.
of these girls who are saying shit about you and talking crap about you have no idea.
They don't know me. They don't know me.
Spend any time getting to know you. They're just like mob mentality. Oh, Christine, or this one said this and that one said this. Oh, she's bad. Let's just jump in. Ed.
Yeah, this is very toxic. And it breaks my heart. I hate to see it. Again, I can't stand bullying. I can't stand stalking. I can't stand any of this. There's no place in a civil society for any of this. Okay. And I mean, I don't understand how it got to this level and how it continued. After she caught a break with the first, interaction with law enforcement, and she the stuff at the restaurant, and then there's people I see in the chat too. I mean, the chat is getting toxic as well. There's people saying, well, who was in the restaurant first? It doesn't matter.
The chat is getting toxic as well, asking questions.
Do you understand?
Because Lauren didn't provide proof. She provided fluff and filler and named a whole bunch of people that aren't involved.
It doesn't matter. Then the other people, well, she made a false report. If Lauren made a false report, that's easily verified and would be a crime, and she would be arrested. Is she?
No,
I don't think so. The judge found what she presented as credible.
Yeah.
I called the police after learning that people wanted my head on a platter and to brace myself. And then I called the police for an escort in Boise to my car, which then the police officer suggested he write up an incident report for history purposes. So it was his idea. And yeah.
Documenting these instances where things happen. And that was a big restaurant. It didn't look like a small little place. She could have been anywhere in that spot so far away from you, or she could have maybe stumbled across you and said, oh shit, I better go the other way. But that's not what she did. And unbeknownst to her, you had a male friend who was there, who was taking those photos.
Interesting. She had a male friend that was there photographing for her this alleged stalker. Isn't that ironic?
Of her, and provided them to
in
you.
Aurora, Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of her male friends was there, associates, just happened to be taking photos and pictures and making sure they were getting all of this.
So thankfully you had people, the good people on your side, because good people don't do this. I don't care. Look, and here's something that I'll put out there in the chat, and Ed and I say this all the time. If you support this type of behavior, I'm not for you.
Can you go say mean poopy words in the comment section about me and then make me a TikTok to Sabrina Carpenter or Eminem? Please and thank you. Then we might fulfill a little bit better category.
And you're not for me. The internet is a big place. There's millions of creators that you can go and engage in their toxic communities. Have at it. Go there.
We're toxic.
I know this. I can speak for you as well, Lauren. If you want
proud to be a toxic waste dump of logical thinkers that ask questions and think this is gross from people that call themselves true crime creators to weaponize our court systems. Toxic waste dump that expects more out of these so-called ex-professionals who use that as some sort of leverage in the true crime community, that they are victim-centered. Toxic waste dump that says what I think and don't sugarcoat it. Toxic waste dump with a bunch of islanders over here.
Toxic behavior and you want this negative stuff, you're not going to find it at HTC. You're not going to find it here on Crime Time with Duty Ron and Ed Wallace.
Coco.
And at the end of the day, the people who you thought were your friends, Lauren.
Coco, I feel like that could be a damn good short.
Like a lot of these news outlets, why aren't they knocking on your door and giving you that platform to talk about this? Why? Because you find out through trial and error when times get tough who really are your friends and who is really going to stick by your side. But
I'll stand by you.
Again, I wanted to circle back.
I'll weaponize my following. This is gross. You guys didn't do your due diligence. Come on, do better. For victims, for the justice process, do better. Do some research into what she actually showed here. Don't be saying she didn't say her alleged stalker's name. She did it numerous times intentionally and looked at the camera while she was doing it. She showed her TikToks. She led people right to it, just like she did tonight. Because
we're at the 45-minute mark. I didn't want to make this more than an hour. There was a case that Ed and I covered in 2022. It was a podcaster and his wife who had a similar situation where they got orders of protection, they were being stalked. Now, I don't want to cause more, trauma to you, but
Okay.
we covered this, Lauren, and I think it's important. I'm only going to play just a little bit of it.
We're going to emotionally manipulate our audience because true stalking cases can be horrific with very disastrous outcomes. And it's a disservice to the true crime community when you have people like this comparing these situations.
It's a different set of circumstances because it's a
Completely different set of circumstances.
female with a male stalker, but she went through the
Males can be stalked too.
steps of making reports, but they didn't make the step. The fatal error was not shoring up their security. They didn't have cameras at their home. They didn't take the steps that you need to take.
Lauren never once showed any images from her home, video surveillance, anything. No threats to her home, her property, people going by her house, not a single thing.
You get in positions like this. So I want to play this for our listening audience. This is the extreme. This is a real, this is a really bad result. But
he knows that he shouldn't even be showing this. He's setting the stage that these are extremes, like not comparable, but we're still going to go there. Ed's over here gobsmacked over the chat because he's not realizing why all the pushback is happening. Ed's over here like looking at the chat going, God, what is wrong with you people? We told you she's our good friend. Get in line. Blind loyalty, people. Ed, you're being misled.
I think it's important that people hear this because this is what can unfortunately happen when people engage in this behavior, because actions have, your actions have consequences, and that things bad can happen. This can go.
Actions have consequences. Unless you're Lauren, then you try to take a whisper campaign that she couldn't get the intel on. She was contacting people, reaching out to them to find out what the whispers were when they wouldn't tell her the whispers, and she didn't like the outcome of the whispers or what she was being told as like, look, this is why I don't want nothing to do with you. This is it. She got on her fucking bullhorn, aka her YouTube channel, and decided to go about it this way, a heckling campaign.
So bad. So here's a quick example of what can happen and what could go bad as it pertains to stalking. So take a listen, folks.
More light on the slaying of a 33-year-old podcast host and her husband, murdered in their Seattle area home, police say, by her alleged stalker. Redmond police say Zora Sadeghi and her husband, Mohammed Milad Nasseri, were shot and killed Friday by this man, Raman Hoda Karamazai, before taking his own life.
The Redmond Police Department is familiar with both the victim and suspect.
This has been ongoing for quite some time. It's a horrific tragedy.
In this case, because of an active stalking investigation that was occurring.
Only a week before the murder, the couple desperately filing for an order of protection against the man they claimed was harassing Sadeghi to the point that she was, quote, suffering from a deep-seated fear for her safety. Police say the man initially reached out to Sadeghi on a chat platform as a listener and fan of her audio streaming, but his actions soon intensified. She said he delivered flowers to her home, sent jewelry and gifts.
He was going to her property. Lauren showed zero evidence of any of that.
Worked in her neighborhood to catch a glimpse of her and repeatedly called her husband, friends, and neighbors.
He was making contact. Lauren said herself, nobody was making contact or attempting. Her phone was silent.
Sadeghi's petition documenting the dozens of phone calls.
Look at the attempts to contact.
Voicemails and text messages she received, despite blocking.
Horrible comparison, Duty Ron.
His number and social media accounts.
In one of the reports, she reported over 100 contacts in a single day.
Sadeghi writing, his voice messages to me have been the cause of anxiety and insomnia for me. They include him crying and begging for me to pick up, him threatening to burn himself and the tree in front of my house. She asked that the order remain in place for 99 years because he has said many times that nothing short of his own death would make him leave me alone. Police say they were in the midst of trying to serve the order of protection, but the suspect, who lived in Texas and was a long-haul trucker, was difficult to track down.
All right, folks. And Lauren, I'm sorry.
And again, wasting court time and resources and law enforcement's resources does a disservice to actual victims.
I wanted to, to give you that disclaimer before I play that, but this is the extreme, and I played that because as per law enforcement professionals, we see this. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that God forbid you don't wish this on your worst enemy, but this is what solidifies and validates your fear because.
No, sir. No, sir.
You have no experience with this. At least not known to me. In your adult life, you have never had this situation happen.
Why did she write a book? Why did she write a book? Why did she author a book and she's a relationship coach? Obviously, she's had some toxic shit in her life. That was the source. Hank.
Happened to you to this extent. And people are trying to, downplay your reaction to this. And I say this to you, ladies.
Nobody's trying to downplay her reaction to this. Again, I will validate. I think she's afraid of something. But oftentimes we find out those some things are within themselves. She has not shown proof or anything that would even incite fear. She's telling everybody flat out she was not being contacted. Her phone went silent. Nobody was talking to her. She had ruined contacts because of shit she was talking behind the scenes. It's pretty simple.
Ladies and gentlemen, how dare you even try to put yourselves in this woman's shoes? I wouldn't dare do it because none of you know the fear that her and Grayson and her husband have experienced. And how dare you go and say, well, she's making more out of this than that. You have no idea. She has.
Do you, Duty Ron? Do you know all the details?
A small son. She has a young son at home.
Don't weaponize the children against us. Again, people are entitled to ask logical questions, especially from those of you that say that you're victim focused, victim centered, want justice to prevail. Then you need to stop being okay with our court systems weaponized for shit like this. This cannot become normalized by anybody. She is doing a disservice to actual victims.
And she's a protective mother. So to have people...
She's a protective mother who chose to release intimate, private details about her 8-year-old child that she said were private within the court. She chose to do a 9-hour segment and made that a huge piece of it.
Say the nasty things that they're saying and do the nasty things that they're doing online. Those are the people who I want to be over here and they could stay over there. I don't want to be anywhere near somebody like that. And Ed, I know you feel the same way.
100%. If you come to this channel, you're here to be educated. You're here to get our personal experience and our training, our certification, and how we see things with these true crime cases that we...
I would trust the two of you to do your homework and actually sit back and listen to the words that were stated. Did either one of you watch the entire 9 hours and see the evidence that she provided?
Highlight here. Okay.
Or lack thereof.
And we support the victims. Okay. And
in this situation, we have no victims. We have a temporary order and then it was withdrawn. There is no quote unquote victim. There's no crime. Nobody's been arrested.
Anything else?
No orders are in place.
Other than that, if then you shouldn't be here. Okay. You don't have to agree with us, but we be respectful to each other. You have to, you listen to what we have to say, whether you agree with us or disagree with it, that's fine. Just be respectful. You can agree to disagree. There's no reason that we have to go down into the gutter and start slamming each other and calling each other names and trying to personally attack each.
What do you think she's doing by calling people stalkers and muddying the water? So now people are running all over saying horrific things to people that she just mentioned by name.
Each other and get all defensive and so forth and toxic. There's no reason for any of that.
They're getting toxic because she's not answering logical questions.
Yeah, if you don't like somebody, there's so many other people that you can go.
She doesn't like the backlash she's seeing. Arms are crossed, pouty face.
And watch. If you don't like Lauren, don't watch her.
And I'm okay if you don't like me. And I'm okay.
Obviously, that's not the truth. She is not okay if you don't like her.
Okay if you think I'm annoying. Okay if people think I'm a bitch. It's okay.
I liked you before this, and now I'm disgusted.
Okay. Just go leave me alone.
Yeah.
I also don't get invested just because I hear somebody telling a story or listen to their coverage. I wasn't invested in her. So there's no personal investment or disappointment really, even because I didn't know her like that. But I'm just disappointed that anybody in their true crime segment or genre who at one time seemed ethical has lost all sight of what that means.
Yeah, and really that's what this boils down to. And look, I have a whole bunch of other questions. I think, you know, we covered a lot here, but if you don't mind, Lauren, I'd like to go to our channel members, some of the folks who are loyal Crime Time with Duty Ron and Ed Wallace subscribers and subscribers of the channel. If you have any,
the controlled people, the people who are making sure to stay within the lines, and I stand with Lauren. Those people is who he's wanting to hear from.
questions, Lauren, I think you had agreed that we would ask some audience questions, and if there's
Absolutely.
anything that we didn't,
she's making a note of something,
get to here, because, you know, I know we were kind of all over the place, and I want to say that Megan Connor, I know she's a friend of yours. It's Lori of Shallow Vallow Daybell.
we are going to watch Megan's commentary too, because that was really weird in itself, and that was right before Duty Ron went on.
Cousin, a great friend. She did a live stream before this, an hour. And oh my God, I was listening to it while I was preparing here in the studio. And Megan, I don't know if she's here in the chat, but she...
It's safer because there's $5 in front of it. Pecan pie. That $5 price tag really protects you, right? And where is this whole, like, somebody said it earlier, and they've been running around saying it. Because you can't take Patreon content and bring it over here. The fuck you can't. I did that shit for a year, and what are you going to do about it? Take my birthday away? Fair use. It's in the public space.
Really, if you want
If I pay for it, I can disseminate that shit and fair use it if I want.
to listen to a breakdown.
Molly tried telling me I couldn't do it. Ask her how that worked out. She used to make me messages in her Patreon because she knew I got them.
Megan took that 9 hours that you did and broke it down into an hour-long session. She did a fantastic job. And
I didn't know she did that. I didn't know she did that. Wow.
Yeah. I'm going to link it in the description. I'm also a channel member of hers and yours, Lauren. So let's go hashtag Lauren, or just let's make it easy. Hashtag HTC with your question. Let's keep it on topic. Let's be respectful, and I'll ask the questions.
Great. And I have a question for you.
I'm not even joking about that either. Molly used to write me posts in her Patreon to get something to me, or she did. She did.
And two,
I was on that ass. What she did was gross.
Well,
I don't like this shit at all. These people make a mockery out of actual stalking cases, actual victim stories.
You'll ask me, and I have questions. Also, like I said, like I really do want to ask you questions. You said you saw, you said you saw her on my channel previously. She was at another trial where I was sort of getting to know her, and you pointed some things out, Ron, and I was wondering if you'd be willing to just, like, from your assessment in law enforcement, or what, I don't know, or what you saw more on the accounts, or what your thoughts are. I don't know though what you're allowed to say or not.
Yeah, no, I can say whatever. I can say anything.
No.
So I
not that I've seen anywhere. Kel, Jay, have you seen any statements from any of them? We've been watching. Hey, Miss Blue, I haven't seen anything so far.
Because I listened to your 9 hours in 5 different sessions. I picked up that you shared some important.
He says he listened to the entire thing in 5 different sessions. If you listen to the entire thing, Duty Ron, where is the question of where is the evidence of stalking?
Important dates. And I think one of those dates was like July 10th or something like that. And it was where you were at the Alec Baldwin trial. And and Christina came up to you, I believe, while you were there.
He just says the alleged stalker's name.
And she put her arm around you. And she said, like, I'm here for you. I went to Crime Con because you couldn't go, to represent you. And then you stopped her and you were like, yeah, I had a free ticket and I gave it to you. Just everything about that initial, for me, engagement, when I looked at her, I knew nothing about this whole history, because at that point it was, I think, it's 2 or 3 hour mark of your video. It was between that first setting.
You like how he included that it was stated that she gave her a ticket. No deed goes without being thrown back in their faces, it sounds like. Oh, I'm going to give you this free ticket, but I'm going to make sure I use it against you later. Ugh.
That I was listening to, the piece that I was listening to. And when I watched her, just something about her was just like very, I, as a law enforcement professional, I was just like, ugh, it just icked me out. Like, I don't know.
It icks me out that you just use your law enforcement in front of that. Have you ever been around women's drama, Duty Ron? Lace up the boots, get your helmet out. let's go for a ride. I can show you some real crazy shit. Duty Ron, have you ever thought that people like Bullhorn Betty could just be faced and masked differently and just maybe more skilled on the uptake with their forms of manipulation? Did you ever realize that as an officer?
What it was, and I could play it because I saved it here. But it was just something about the way she was putting her arm around you, and I don't know if that was the first time you met her or
She put her in a chokehold or anything. No, she gave her a fucking hug.
if it was your initial engagement with her. It just kind of was creepy, you know, like it just
So creepy. Arm around it. Have you been around LDS women from Utah, Duty Ron?
didn't seem
Have
natural.
you been to the Relief Society meetings in Utah in particular? Again, I'm not against Mormons. Utah Mormons are a whole different ballgame. Have you ever been to a Relief Society? You should go in there. You should be sleeved and go into one of those. You want to talk about getting the ick feeling. They don't like tattoos. And they didn't like me. But I appeared. It was fun.
It just seemed really like weird.
Yeah.
So fake.
So, and one of them is, why do you think they were doing this? This is interesting. This is from a police officer in Aurora. So the second night when the Aurora police said to us, go look in the bar to make sure she's not there. Tell us if she is. We were again given that order by police after the Clue Awards. And then we saw her, and so we said, yeah, she's there. And they said, okay, well, we're going to go ask her to leave so you can go in.
Why does she keep mentioning the Clue Awards?
And we ended up actually having to wait for 45 minutes before we could go into the bar. I'd be really interested what that body cam footage looks like. I don't know. But when the police officer came back out and said, okay, it's safe, you guys can go in, because it had taken so long, I did say to the police officer, I said, just from your standpoint, like I don't know what happened down there, but like, what's their argument? Like, can you tell me why they're doing this, or why they're saying they're doing this? Like, because
she's asking the police officers again, ring a ding ding. Can you tell me what I said behind people's backs that they're mad at? Because I'm trying to save face here. Some random officer. You know what they're going to think? I don't fucking know, lady. You got drama.
And his response was, it sounds like they were riding your coattails and you cut the coattails.
Oh, competition, you say.
That was his response to me after spending 45 minutes downstairs.
Everybody just wants to be a big and upcoming YouTuber like me, growing fast.
So I just thought that was interesting. I haven't seen that body cam footage. I don't know what it is. But
okay, that just look.
It's something I'll share. I didn't share that on my 9-hour live.
Yeah.
Look at me.
No, I mean, obviously, I don't think I saw that what you described there, but you know, the body cam footage. She tried to control the police officers.
Rosewater.
Them there.
Very
she
similar.
kept cutting them off and was trying to tell them like what, you know, like they were trying to give her instructions, and she just kept cutting them off. Yes, I know. Yes, I have a picture of it on my phone. Like admitting that she knew, like Ed said, he pointed it out. She knew that this order,
her husband told her, yeah, she knew,
was in place, but yet still took it upon herself to go there. If you're a law-abiding citizen, you're like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to this.
A lot of people are unclear about what orders state or where they can and can't be. So if it wasn't clear, she might have just thought she could go, or she was testing the boundaries to see what was going to happen. And she was going to force Lauren to make a move publicly in front of everybody, which she did. Maybe it was documentation for her. I don't know. I have no idea what they were doing or their mindset.
It's a puppy.
But all I go back to is, have these women ever been in a fucking bar fight? Have they ever been out in like reality? Oh my God, somebody said something mean about me. Jeez Louise.
Giving me some therapy right now. So yeah, she's been here the whole time, but she just made an appearance.
Good. Yeah. But yeah, so she basically was saying to those officers, is like, I know that I'm not supposed to be here, but I'm here. And I bought my ticket in June or whenever, she said, like way in the past. And my friend's here, and she was like fake crying, like trying to give that fake that she was upset.
Fake crying? Did you watch that 9 hours? You said you did. Maybe again, because of her training, she can't get tears to come out. But she was really trying for some waterworks there the other night and didn't get it to come out.
She was upset that she was busted. She was upset that they were telling her, you can't come in. You got to go back to the hotel. And that really got her.
What's with the no?
Yeah. Therapy dog.
Shoes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who goes and walks around a convention hall for a conference with no shoes?
maybe a woman that was in uncomfortable shoes all day and has blisters. My God.
I don't know. And honestly, I was actually
hashtag free the socks, burn the bras, free the socks. Jeez Louise.
very scared to, you can see in the photo, like I was sitting at a table, a high top table. I've been
she have her earrings out too
there for a while. And I knew that she was there. People were telling me she's there. And I looked and I saw, I was like, oh my gosh, she's there. I actually wasn't about to get up because I was just like, why is she here? So I just sat there and I didn't really look, but other people were telling me she doesn't have any shoes on. She doesn't have any shoes on. And then she got a camera. I mean, it was just so.
Oh, a lot of people knew what was going on. Everybody was asking me, why didn't she have shoes on? I don't fucking know.
Oh, I don't know.
Let's listen
questions
to
we want to have answers to. So sorry, yeah, people can ask me questions.
I want to listen to this. I want to show everybody this interaction that I was talking about that kind of icked me out. This is at the Alec Baldwin trial. I want to play it.
This is one of the many reasons people are coming. Christina, do you wanna do an interview? Do you want to do an interview? What?
I'm just here for you.
I'm
just here for you.
This is also Christina. Christina and I were at the Daybell trial together, and so you were here.
I'm here for her. Just moral support.
Moral support.
Just kidding. Here
No,
to also see it too.
You want to see?
Support.
Yeah, and you're
Let's
interested.
See.
Yeah, let's see.
I mean,
So-
I feel like you should show our conversation last night about how I feel.
I did. Yeah. So, well, that's a great example. I will share a little bit, but I won't.
What was icky about that? That's Utah Mormon women. I'm not even joking. That's typical of them.
Share. Okay. So, well, do you want to share how you feel? I was like, why don't you?
Here's the deal.
Why do I? If you're here,
I went to CrimeCon, basically for you because you couldn't go. Just kidding.
that is true. Actually, my ticket that actually someone gifted me went to Christina.
Gifted to me.
Because I couldn't end up going to CrimeCon because I wanted to stay for the full Chad Daybell trial and the sentencing, which happened during CrimeCon. So
Yeah, there's nothing weird about this interaction, really.
Christina, who I met at a Hidden Gem, who I met at the Chad Daybell trial, went in my place. All right.
Okay. I'm on live right now
Has to classify them as a hidden gem.
explaining why you need to come because you're my.
She's trying to explain about the gun. I don't even want to hear about that. She was doing the whole. No.
Yeah.
Very awkward. People saying in the chat. #
Very awkward. You set it up to your audience as awkward. So, of course, they're going to feel it's awkward because you prefaced it by it gave you the ick.
HTC with your questions, and we'll try to wrap it up. Lauren, I know, this, and again, I want to thank you
Who's watching the chat? She's mad.
for coming on here with us. And I know you said in the beginning up front that,
She's realizing the pushback she's getting, and so is Ed. Ed's over here like, yeah, Ed, there's a lot of questions.
you're trying to figure out a way to get back. When you feel right, you'll know it, and you'll come back, and you'll go full force. And everybody will be there who loves and supports you. The negatives and these people who are going to come on, and like we have some.
They're body language experts, Mercedes girl. How is that weird hand movement? Oh my God, these people can read into anything. Oh yeah. We might need. Fuck Jay. If you're in here, Jay's people, we need to go buy out Costco with the tinfoil. We're gonna fucking need it.
Toxic people in the chat, we take care of that after the fact. We go, and I have folks who watch and look at the chat, and if our moderators miss something, we kind of weed our garden after the fact. So heads up, and thank you to all the mods who are doing double time here tonight. But yeah, if anybody has questions, I haven't seen anything in the chat.
Body agree. Majorly agree.
Question wise as it pertains to this. But yeah, I mean, I have a whole list of questions. Ed, do you have anything that you might want to ask Lauren?
No, I don't want to ask anything, but I just want to tell you, please be safe. All right, be prepared and watch your six. Okay, it's sad today in our society that these things are occurring, and people need to understand the ramifications of their actions and how.
Yeah, when you are shitty to people, it gets out.
Their words and deeds online, in public, on social media.
It's shitty to release somebody's private text messages that you were friends with. I agree. Move the fuck on. But as you see online, we see it all the time. People hold on to shit. People release stuff. They try to hold shit over your head. Fuck. Find your no give a fuck era and live it.
Media and so forth can end up triggering other people to do very bad things.
Yeah. Lauren herself, her behavior, her actions of doing this 9-hour production that she didn't think they were going to be able to pull off. You know, high fives all around, thumbs up. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of us. We prepared days for this. She did this. There's consequences to your actions. There is no current court order. There is no injunction. There is nothing calling these people stalkers. There's no criminal charges. Not a single thing. All I'm hearing is a lot of defamation against a lot of people that might have said some mean poopy things behind the scenes and used some Eminem lyrics and some Sabrina Carpenter. Oh my God, no, everybody likes me. Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. I guess I'll go eat worms. Fucking, maybe you should eat the worm in the bottle of the tequila. Maybe you'll live a little happier. I don't fucking know at this point.
Thank you for saying
that is not a threat.
And again, that's important too. I think maybe that was something I didn't emphasize enough on my live is it wasn't just what I felt was threatening from her. And again, feeling threatened is an emotion, whether you think she was or wasn't. I felt
yes, Lizzie
threatened. I still feel threatened. I currently feel threatened. But when somebody
and here we are again with Miss I'm going to need protection at CrimeCon next year. Lauren, what's next for you? Will you refile?
But he's also reaching out and instigating more people to be upset at you.
You caused why people are upset with you. You stop pushing it off on everybody else. I'm upset with you and what you did and how you're weaponizing people and doing this press junket and amping up all these creators and subs to go after random people because of your hurt fifis. I'm disgusted with your behavior because of you.
It gets even scarier because what if the threat ends up not being her, but a person from my past?
What fucking threats, ma'am? Again, I repeat, you stated in the beginning of this that you were not even being contacted. Your phone went silent. Nobody was speaking to you, let alone threatening you.
That I've been trying to stay away from. And she.
It is not a threat to say, I don't know what's coming. Probably something viral. They're going to make it go viral. Okay.
Contacts them and riles them up. And I've now learned from multiple people through a police report. So that false police report, I actually learned that she reached out to my ex-contractor. From Lori Hellis, I learned that she reached out to her. I'm learning from people that she, from a national TV producer, I learned that she reached out to her. And so when you start reaching out to people to say, I'm terrible, and you're, like I said, you're getting the ball rolling.
Who's the dolphin?
Where do the threats end? Like, who's angry at me? Who's not?
Absolutely.
It gets, I'm very scared. I am still very scared.
Yeah. And why does your husband have to be brought into this? That's the crazy part of it. Like, in my looking at this and what you've discussed in that 9 hours of live streaming, I'm sure that as a team, the decision to cut ties with any contractor at any given time, you guys talk about it together. But and
again, there is ways to handle contract ex-employee business relationships. You can do it through the courts. She opted to not. She's made this a public spectacle, and she is relying on the court of public opinion as she withdrew her paperwork from court. Like, that's so weird to me. She, in a way, it seems like she's afraid or was afraid to be embarrassed because she wouldn't have enough proof or evidence per se to show the court to get permanent orders. She didn't want to get embarrassed. So then she turns around and decides, well, I'm going to use the court of public opinion and tarnish all of these people. That's shittier than what they did to you. Seems to me that you pulled the first punch here.
The angle of going after your husband, the vile, we didn't even touch on it, your brother who died from a traumatic brain injury, right? This community here, when you were going through that, we were there with you. And
I'm sorry about the loss of her brother. Okay, carry on. I'm sorry her mom's in a hospice. Carry on. Let's stop using that stuff.
Sending you love and support.
We don't know what she said about all of this behind the scenes. We heard a TikTok that they were pushing off gossip again.
To bring up the things that they brought up about your brother, we didn't even touch on that. That was vile. I don't want to get into it here, but you know, for me, that made it so outrageous and so egregious. I just couldn't even believe that they had the audacity to go there.
Excuse me, Duty Ron. If she was saying shit like that, yeah, I don't think it needed to be put in a TikTok, but these are catty, gossipy, that's what they are. And if she was saying weird shit like she was saying, people are entitled to feel some sort of way about it. Again, I wouldn't have probably done the TikTok thing, but who knows?
And that's what makes people subhuman. Like in my eyes, the people who support this, and I don't give a shit if I lose 1,000 subscribers over this. If you're engaging in that kind of behavior, you're subhuman. That's Lauren's brother, who she loved dearly.
Right. I get that. I get that she loved her brother and her brother passed tragically. But she also told in her 9-hour story that she left her dying brother's bedside to go work and cover a trial because that's where her heart was. People are entitled to not have good feelings and to say stuff about it, unfortunately, publicly. We don't have to like it. It might be vile, but is it actionable and legal? Is it part of stalking? No, not necessarily at all.
Who died from an ATV accident and a traumatic brain injury over a period of time. How dare you make allegations or accusations of anything that had to do with her brother?
But yet you're a part of a genre that accuses people constantly because they don't know what happened. You're a part of a genre that profits off of people's tragedies and don't really give a shit about all the people that are smeared along the way. So why is she supposed to be treated differently?
That is not your family.
Come on, Duty Ron, you're better than this. Wake up. Stop it. Think about it.
Stay the fuck away from that. You know, so when people do stuff like that, it's just outrageous. Guilty of crime. Jay, thank you for being here. She says, #Lauren, what's next for you? Will you refile? Valid question.
Did he even reach out to get the other side of the story, I wonder, and do his due diligence as an ethical journalist or crime reporter or whatever? You're accusing people of heinous crimes as an ethical true crime creator, correct? With expertise in law enforcement is what you guys classify yourselves are. And here we are accusing people of crime, saying their names, showing these ick moments that seem pretty normal, unfortunately. Weird, but people are fucking weird.
Good one.
To be determined. I know that both of you have shared with me what you think I should do.
Yeah. And but did she lie though?
Yeah, I might. But I might take a different approach this time. Maybe federal. I don't know. We'll see.
I might take a different approach this time, maybe federal. So you withdrew at the state level and now you want to go federal? Please tell me this is fucking a prank. Please tell me somebody is pulling a prank on us. And what is with the side tilt fucking puppy dog face? What is with this? Ugh.
To be determined. I know that both of you have shared with me what you think I should do. Yeah, I might. But I might take a different approach this time. Maybe federal. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe federal. Whew. I think we saw what you were going to do. You brought it publicly for the court of public opinion because you didn't think that you had enough, in my opinion, for the actual court of law. Nobody's been charged with a crime. There is no contact order. There is no restraining order. There's no injunction. There's nothing here. She was granted a temporary and then she withdrew. And from what I understand, she was granted the temporary on is questionable at best, which we will be getting into that. We have to at this point. I was going to avoid that stuff, but I think it's only balanced to do and find out the rest of the story of how she was granted the temporary to begin with.
Awesome. Thank you for answering that. Another person asked a question, and I'm not sure if you want to go there, but they made a reference and the chat's moved quickly, so I lost it. They asked about if you know or if you have an idea of how law and crime.
You know whose voice I just heard? I've got the perfect attorney for her. If you're new here, you might not get this, but those of you that know, you'll know. This sounds like the perfect fucking attorney. Can you add him to your legal team, please? And thank you for me. Hell, this one might even do you some good at this point. I think we need to start one of these. If you're familiar with Utah, you'll know exactly what that is. Oh, yeah.
Trial Channel got a hold of your story, and was Anjanette Levy involved in it? And they mentioned that in the
Yeah, I have no clue. I know that people have brought up that one creator named Lori Ellis shared that she was with my stalker, and Anjanette Levy.
I'm calling Nick. Next thing we know, her and Nick are going to be in communications about this enterprise, and somehow Jay and I are going to end up, and Body and others are going to end up fucking knowing Christina and Lori and all these other people, and soon we're all going to be one collective together. Rico and racketeering, the enterprise has arrived again. Jesus. Calling Nick. I'm surprised they haven't started. Watch, now that I fucking said it out loud, they're going to be like, oh, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, try it, motherfuckers. You already lost once.
He was there. I don't even know if
it's an appeals, and we know that that's going to be upheld.
Anjanette Levy was talking to them, though. So I don't want to pull her into this. I don't know. Maybe she was standing up for me. I don't know. All I know is that allegedly the three of them were together at crime.
Nick said he wanted to be a part of the court system until 2030. Fuck, oh dear. Move on over. What's that fucking weird name that they use? I changed my name to her one day. I can't. Cynthia Lee. Move on over, Cynthia Lee. Lauren Matthias is coming in.
Con.
We can have a Matthias and a Mathis all in one.
When my stalker was asked to leave the second night after the Clue Awards, not the night that the photo was taken, but the next night.
Got it. I think I saw Megan Connor in the chat. Megan, do you have anything? Because I actually invited her to come.
For anybody new here, there was 2 mothers. And I mentioned that they're mothers because it is important. 2 single mothers, creators, they were covering the case of missing Sebastian Rogers. And a group of 10 people got together October 18th last year and filed for an injunction in Pennsylvania against these 2 single mothers, content creators, one from TikTok, one from YouTube. And in the injunction, they accused them of RICO and racketeering and having an enterprise through YouTube and social media. It was the first anti-SLAPP in Pennsylvania. It is currently in an appeals process right now, just going through, because it will be the first anti-SLAPP ruling in Pennsylvania since the new statute went into place. So they're making sure everything is done. But the judge gave a legal ass whooping because of wasting court's times and not making allegations properly and so on and so forth. So some of us creators have been following shit like this and the wild accusations. And I'm going to give you another example at the end of another creator a lot of us have been following that is the constant victim of shit. But that was 10 people, crazy people who go out and harass victims and their families, and the allegations. I mean, the whole thing is a shit show. You can't even explain it in a short recap. But that's why, to many of us, this is just unfucking believable that she would do what she's doing. Not showing proof, not showing. And we just had somebody else last week. Another creator tried to get a restraining order or a no contact order, no contact order on 2 random creators, saying she was threatened and all these things happened to her. They've never even left the state or threatened her. And she lied a bunch too. So there's a bunch of current ongoing situations. And I think a lot of us are just like, oh, fuck, here we go. Here we fucking go.
But she was doing the live stream before this. So maybe you know how that goes. You get kind of talked out when you do a live stream before. So I had invited her to come up and maybe come on and give a little bit of her because she said she was there with some of the stuff that you went through.
It seems to me she knows she burnt a lot of these relationships previously in those text messages or things that might have been shared. It seems like she knew that a lot of these relationships were burnt. And so now she's kind of almost intentionally trying to link them in to the people that she is claiming are so bad. Does that make sense? It seems like this is almost retaliatory to link certain people that she might have burnt or said not something so kind about by her, publicly almost like linking them together by calling this group over and over 440 times. I can't even get over that. 440 times the word stalk was used in that live stream. Stalker 240, stalking like 184. It's fucking unreal. And again, there's no documentation to back that up, criminal or civil.
With you during some things she mentioned to me, because her and I talk as well. So Megan said, I was there to witness some of this stuff. So that's why I thought, as my detective mind was going, I was like, well, this is good, because this is somebody who's a third party that, yes, she's one of your friends, but you met her through this business. She's not somebody who's been your childhood friend.
Right.
And I thought that she would be good to give our listening audience a little bit of insight to.
Layla, was her brother a public on social media or something? Or can I ask how you knew about her brother?
What she saw. You have to go through it, but being that she can't come on, what was she there for? What did Megan see?
I'm just so thankful that other creators that overlap around these spaces. I'm really thankful that Jay is covering this, because I have somebody to like bounce my thoughts off, because I really thought, holy shit, am I desensitized? Like, is something here that I'm not seeing? And Miss Leah, like others, like I really thought I was going to feel differently about this, and walked away just like, what the fuck is this?
I don't want to speak for
This can't be real, because she didn't even go to the extent that BJ has. There's no CPS allegations, no calls to the cops or agencies, like nothing even that. Yeah, I don't,
I didn't know she was going live, and I don't know what she said on her live. I think she met my ex-contractor, producer. And so I assume she has thoughts from that. And then Megan was a support while I was starting to sort of realize that I was being
gotcha. Okay. Sorry,
sort
I
of
misunderstood that.
shunned, like something was going on. The Whisper campaign, she was around during that and really angry. And so she was noticing it.
I actually really expected something different in this. If you go watch my first live stream, like I give my genuine, like, what we're missing something. There's got to be something more. Something else is going to be shown. And then this tonight, her first appearance after that. And it's this. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. Not only did you not provide any specifics or give any more insight so people actually have answers, you caused nothing but further speculation and harm. And you picked them. You say the words, I picked you. This whole thing was thought out and produced.
And feeling the effects of it a little bit too is odd. There was sort of like this partisan, I don't know, it was weird. And so I think she saw that happening, and she saw the fear as it began, because it was when everything sort of started, it was at one of the
right. But that's still runs with scissors. Still, she called the police. What are they supposed to do? What can they do? Something is gonna be leaked. Was she thinking that the cops were going to stop people from having the right to email their friends? I mean, she can't really, what was she calling the cops for? Do you see what I'm saying? The cops have no control. Something wasn't leaked. It wasn't like naked pictures of her or something that they could do something to like get it down. That's what I'm saying. Calling the cops because something might be leaked. Like in certain states, they can probably do something about releasing if there was like a contract with the person. Again, that's business law though, not this other shit here.
If
a person that she had a contract with and is releasing business related, there's civil actions that can be taken for workplace situations. We're in a whole other area with a whole other person at this point.
Trials. And so she was present, and I think she felt and saw my fear. And I had mentioned getting a threatening voicemail, and it started to snowball really fast when it started.
Duty Ron says that he was informing Ed right before the show. like in the green room, he was showing Ed things. Ed doesn't seem to have known anything about this. And I think that's why he's just staring at the chat. Like, watch him. He's just watching the chat and like rubbing his chin like, what? Okay, there's got to be something else going on. I think this is the moment where he's realizing there's more to this.
It was starting to get really scary, just like as things were, you know, and I didn't know what was going on. And I think that Megan probably saw a lot of that happening. And, you know, someone else that did was Susan Hendricks. Like, she was there from the beginning too, and like saw.
Well, and I think you can tell that in the last statement he was asked to give by Duty Ron. He was just like, protect yourself, watch your six, which is his generic slogan. But I think at that point, like, he might be realizing, look, there's more to the story that I don't know, and maybe I should have been aware of.
Sort of like the shift of everything, what was happening, and how it's honestly never been the same since. It just, you know, it just keeps getting worse. It's sort of like, just ignore it, we're good, you get over it. But it has gone on for months and months and months.
The problem, the danger, and Ed, you, I know you can jump in on this. The danger in ignoring something.
That's what a bunch of people in the chat were saying right when I started Sin, was that they were over there being really respectful. Raven said that she was respectful. Sorry, didn't mean to assume. But they were asking respectful questions and getting blocked.
Like this is, it doesn't go away. It just snowballs. And when you ignore somebody like this, they go next levels.
There has to be more to this. Again, I'm leaving open for no shock. Like, nothing will shock me at this point. But right now, what we factually have is that it looks like Lauren was the one trying to seek revenge on people for leaking things that she wasn't proud of, that might have harmed her relationships with people. So it was like she was intentionally trying to get revenge and do shady shit. That's what we're left with right now, according to the timeline of how things happened, who was the one doing things, her own statements. That's all we have. Yeah, we have some shitty, not so nice girls that fell out, that were friends, and some employment concerns potentially with contracts or releasing things or whatever I don't know what their confidentiality agreement was or their work contract. I don't know what it states. So I'm just assuming here that there could be something. But right now, what we have is what looks like a well-executed plan of revenge, because she withdrew from the court, the legal means, and is now playing the court of public opinion, which in 2025, unfortunately, sometimes has more of an effect on people's lives than the actual court system. Think about that. She's done more damage to these women's careers and potential relationships with this maneuver right now as it stands. With what she has shown, she's shown nothing for proof that backs up. And these people are being called stalkers, that they have committed crimes. And these are all within the true crime space. It's extremely dangerous what games they are setting, and how she knew the court of public opinion in stuff like this is so impactful, and she knew how to play it all out. She didn't provide proof. She provided 9 hours of fill and fluff and random names. She intentionally released every one of those names to try and link them to the stalker, that they have relationships, knowing that it would tarnish their relationships and their names would be spoke about as aligning with quote unquote stalker.
It just continues on until they can get a response from you. So going the law enforcement route was.
That's why BJ does what she does, by blaming they, them, y'all called CPS. Y'all did this. She is attempting to tarnish our relationships and things of that nature by labeling us all real life goers. And she is the one filing shit in court on people. She is the one that is taking part in all the fucking foul shit while trying to like tarnish us and then claim that her image has been tarnished. Are you fucking kidding me? These people are manipulative as fuck.
The proper route to go.
We just got one here that's got access to money, means, and connections. And she can stay awake.
And
the other one can't.
Getting representation. So quick pat on the back from us. from retired law enforcement.
Crazy.
Anybody that's out there, if somebody is making you feel uncomfortable, no matter what it is.
Speaking of which, we'll be wrapping this one up here in just a few minutes, and then I got a clip from tonight of the other one I want to throw in here at the end and show you how fucking crazy these people get.
Doesn't matter what level it is. If you're just causing your day-to-day to be impacted and you are afraid to go outside and so forth, you have to document that, because without paper, without it being documented and a report being done, then it's your word against theirs.
Oh my God, Harley Ryder. Speaking of that, hold that thought until we pull the next clip.
And you have to screenshot and save everything. You and Grayson are doing it. And shout out to Grayson for being a good support system for you, and she's going through it as well. I don't want to leave her out of it. And Dr. John, they're all three of you guys and the extended family are all victims here as it pertains to this. And again, good people don't do this. This is not behavior of good human beings. So I want to know. Go ahead.
It's not normal. And when you said what you just said about escalation, about being ignored, and right away my mind goes back to the movie Fatal Attraction. Okay, and Glenn Close character. Okay,
yeah, a lot of people
how desperate and how much she escalated the situation when she felt she was ignored. In fact, she even told Michael Douglas's character, Dan, I will not be ignored. And then the next thing you know, there's a rabbit boiling on the stovetop in his house. Okay.
Yeah. People have
BJ used to call me a bunny broiler all the time. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember when BJ used to call all of us bunny broilers? Fuck, oh dear. I feel like we've dealt with a Lauren before, just in the BJ fashion. Lord.
Brought that particular scene up with the rabbit. Exactly.
This one already has a team of attorneys. She comes with a team of attorneys. BJ has amassed one over the time.
Exactly. And that was an interesting moment for me when I had been ignoring this group. It was a group effort. Only, one of them is on TikTok, although when there are photos of the others there and people commenting are the other people I mentioned. And they've all written declarations for the court, which is why I used some first names the other night. But one thing that was a moment for me, I had been ignoring. And when they came up to my
you're not wrong, young Black economist. You're not. I was talking to one of my fucking friends about this situation with the allegations that they're making, and it just does not. It does no, what is she doing? We want better for our justice system and everybody. And here they are doing this shit and then saying that they're ethical crime reporters of crime.
Dinner table
they do more damage by doing this shit. It's fuck. They really become famous in their own minds. This is real problematic.
In Boise, this group of women, the most interesting thing I think I recorded was they said, quit act.
Can you imagine if what she would say if ICE, let's just say Dr. John was of a minority. ICE treats people way worse.
Like nothing's wrong. They were angry that I wasn't responding. And then their declarations for the court, which I actually couldn't get to because it would have been an 11-hour live. So I still have that. But they state that I am trying to provoke a confrontation by being in their space, even though I'm covering these trials and they're actually just, they attend them. One of them.
Okay. One thing I got to ask you guys though, completely off topic. Did you see when the frog guy, the officer opened up the back hatch of his costume, the inflatable costume, and sprayed with inside the frog costume? Did you guys see that shit? Whoever who manufactures the blow up things, make sure you put the little hatches on the front side. That was some bullshit. The hatch was on the back and he lifted it up and sprayed, I think it was pepper spray, inside the inflatable costume.
My ex-contractor goes for work, but
just a note to the manufacturers, put those patches on the front.
Quit acting like nothing's wrong. That was their beef. And I had sent one of their friends, an ex-contractor, a cease and desist, which has nothing to do with them. And it's, business is business. I'm sure
the guy's reaction though was fucking hysterical. It took me out. He was like, that wasn't very nice. Like, he was just all like chill. He was like, that wasn't very nice of them to do. I was like, what the fuck? God, what is happening?
We sent him before too.
Yes. Yes.
So.
Oh my God.
There's different levels to this, and no two are the same. But again, I showed the most extreme version of it, and I thought it was important to put that out there as a PSA.
This is so fucking much bullshit. I can't even take it seriously. Like, this is so much bullshit. I am just like, what?
And also to anybody, whether you're a creator or just someone who has an online presence, if you're being harassed, stalked, or you know,
can we use those definitions properly for once?
Annoyed in your daily life with
stalked, harassed, and annoyed are starkly different.
Text messaging, messages through social media.
She just told you that that wasn't happening to her. That's not been her complaint. In fact, it's the opposite. People were not contacting her. Duty Ron, please go back and listen to what she said tonight.
Save them, report them. Don't ever just say, oh, this is just some, you know.
So you're telling them to report Lauren because Lauren was the one actually reaching out to people. Lauren was the one that was asking people questions and wanting to know what was being said about her. She was, sounds like, having her producer reach out to creators and have conversations for them to use.
Some crazy, this is some
childish bullshit. Yes.
Yeah, you can't just ignore it. A threat is a threat. We're living in a different day and age, and look at what we have. We have people getting shot in the neck for voicing their opinions and, you know, utilizing their freedom of speech.
Oh, that's
and you have politicians and others.
I didn't even think about that. I was just shocked by that whole situation.
Who are getting firebombed at their home. The Pennsylvania governor. You know, I could just go down a whole list of people. And this type of behavior incites violence. Yes. It may not be the exact person.
People are becoming more and more vocal too. That is one thing that I will say. I am glad to see that people are like, no, there's something else here. Like, I am really glad to see more and more people standing up and saying something isn't right here. That is one thing I will state. But you got to remember, a lot of this community too is current Mormons, because she is still, from my understanding, practicing LDS. But she draws in because of how she plays the sides. Like, she reports on a lot of horrific Mormon crime. So she catches a lot of ex-mos or never-ins. But she also has a very LDS loyal base. And that matters. They are very loyal to her. And they are nasty if you question anything. And we're seeing it.
That's doing it. It may not be Christina, but it could be someone that's within that massive group, however size it is. I don't know the reach. Full disclaimer, until the 15th, when Lauren did this video, I knew none of these names.
Miss Harmony, I said that was one of my predictions the other day. We're missing like 90 right now. Where it lands is not, I mean, it's against Lauren, not for Lauren. Just logically thinking and asking questions.
On this list, I don't know Christina. I don't know Lindsay. I don't know Lori Hellis. I don't know Janice. I don't know who the hell these people are, but I did come to look at Christina and her activity, and it was not normal. This is not.
NJ, I was shocked by this. I was very shocked by this. I thought there was a little bit of hope going into this because of but no, when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, hell no, what is happening here? And then he established it right away. Like, this is our good friend. And I was like, oh, we're biased. We didn't look into it. And then we know that Ed didn't know about the situation, and he's learning in the chat as it goes. And he's just been sitting there rubbing his chin. So I don't think Duty Ron was very aware, let alone Ed Wallace.
Someone who's,
and I think Ed's realizing that.
Been fired from a job or just.
I can't help but just sit here and watch his face, truly. When he's, oh, there I go again. As he's reading these comments, he's just, his facial expression of trying to be stoic is there, but not really.
Dismissed from, being a general contractor. Many people hire you and fire you as business moves in different directions. Just take it and move on.
When my friend Miss Leah sent this to me, she knows I followed some of the stories Lauren covered. So she was somebody I did listen to. So she sent this to me, and she had just started it and really thought that, there was going to be, obviously she expected there to be like proof and things. I made the determination I was going to watch every bit of it, because I started watching it and I was like, no, there's got to be something here. I was just waiting. There's got to be, like, she wouldn't do this. And the further it got, the more I was like, oh no.
To your next,
But I watched it all. And then I've watched
form of income and just leave the people alone. So I want to just end by saying, Lauren, I support and we stand in solidarity with you and your husband and your family. Anything we could do as far as advice or.
And here we start the I Stand With campaign that's already been ongoing. You have Lana, you have Web Sluice, you have Lana, you have Guilty of Crime. Now you have Duty Ron and Ed.
Anything,
and a bunch more. Megan Connor. Pretty much everybody within like the connecting pieces to the Daybell Vallow on one side of it, Colby Ryan, like all of those people. We have a I Stand With Lauren campaign based on what?
You always have my platform. You have a huge platform as well, and a lot of great true crime gems there over at Hidden True Crime. During the Richard Allen trial, it was a great collaborating with you, and we look forward to.
Yeah, I didn't know much about that trial. I was highly in disagreement with her through that trial. That's when I really started like, oh, okay. I kind of stopped watching her at that point. I haven't watched her in a long time because I was way on the other side of things. And her coverage seemed really weird to me in that situation with what I had found out, because I didn't follow that heavily. But at first I was like, oh, okay. Oh, no, not okay. So that's kind of when the last time I even watched anything from her.
Doing it in the future. But, you have my number. You have Ed's number. You could reach out to us at any time. For those of you who disagree, it's always.
I watched a lot of her Daybell Vallow stuff just because of what I like with within like the connecting pieces that she would sometimes put together with the visions of glory and stuff like that. Like she is very knowledgeable in certain areas of that. She definitely is.
It's okay to disagree.
It is. It is okay to disagree and to not like me. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Weird.
But be respectful.
That whole situation was just weird. And I didn't know enough about the case to really have a good understanding in the beginning. So her coverage didn't really stand out to me because I didn't know anything about it. But as I was learning, I don't follow true crime like that, though. You guys got to remember that, too. And I don't really watch many of these guys because, well, what I cover takes enough time. So now I'm going back and, oh, my God, there's just so much to unpack here.
Yeah. One thing I want to thank Megan, too, I was thinking of the past at the trial, but I want to say, too, she was with me in the bar that night at CrimeCon. I was thinking the past, and I'm a little shaken tonight. But like as it went on, I was like, wait, she was also with me recently. So, she was there for a lot of it.
She mentioned it tonight.
It's the same.
So that's why I mentioned it. And again, we understand that, your cage has been rattled and you're not on your A game, and rightfully so. I understand that. But know that you have more love than hate. There's more people.
The one good thing about that, Lindsay, is outside of Lauren, there's been a lot of people. Lynn Packer is my favorite reporter in the LDS Mormon Exmo space. Lynn Packer and American Crime Journal. American Crime Journal is out of Las Vegas. Excellent reporter that does a lot of connecting pieces within most of that stuff and already had all that stuff uncovered years ago and can connect all the pieces. So a lot of her reporting, I think, came secondhand because of people already putting that together. Does that make sense?
People who love you and appreciate you. And for those who know what you're doing, who have been around you for a long time, I mean, look, there's people here in the chat that have bad things to say about Ed and I right now for standing.
I got to back that up. I'm sorry. I got to listen to that shit again.
For those of you who disagree, it's always okay to disagree.
It is.
It's always okay to disagree, but you were deleting every comment that was disagreeing and asking questions respectfully, it sounds like.
It is okay to disagree and to not like me. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
But you're telling people that they're not allowed to by what?
But be respectful.
Yeah. One thing I want to thank Megan, too, I was thinking of the past at the trial, but I want to say, too, she was with me in the bar that night at CrimeCon. I was thinking the past, and I'm a little shaken tonight. But like as it went on, I was like, wait, she was also with me recently. So, she was.
Putting her into the story, and, she's connected to the victims. Again, the way that she intentionally, like she made a note when Megan was mentioned earlier tonight. She made a note on her notepad and didn't look too happy about the live stream or when she heard about that. And now she's like, oh yeah, she was there. That this whole face here seems to me like,
She was there for a lot of it.
She mentioned it tonight.
Okay.
So that's why I mentioned it. And again, we understand that, you know, your cage has been rattled and you're not on your A game, and rightfully so. I understand that.
Some of
But
it.
know that you have more love than hate. There's more people who love you and appreciate you. And for those who know what you're doing.
And that's really sad because people should be asking these questions and they should want people to, especially in the true crime space, when people are being accused of, no, you're good. I haven't watched it all yet. I'm going to finish it after this. Duchess was live, so I was trying to watch that, and I was at my in-laws. So I didn't watch a lot of things. I caught certain things and I knew they were happening, but they're on my, I got to finish watching. I clicked in to hers, heard a couple of things in the beginning, and I was like, ew. She promotes her online like classes or whatever. It's weird. This shit's getting weird.
Who have been around you for a long
Really
time.
fast.
I mean, look, there's people here in the chat that have bad things to say about Ed and I right now for standing with you. Those are people who don't know anything about us, that do not know that we know the difference between right and wrong. And we call it out when we see it.
I'm not saying that contacting anybody in her real life is right. Again, it's not. But there's so much more to this story.
Some people might not like what we call out.
But weaponizing our court systems for shit like this is a disservice to victims. That's it. That's all. She was the one reaching out to people. She was the one that couldn't handle the pushback. She had opportunities and ways to handle the contract stuff. And if she didn't have proper contracts, that's nobody's fault but her own.
But at the end of the day, we both could lay our head down on our pillow and know that we did the right thing.
Yeah.
So on behalf of Crime Time with Duty Ron and Ed Wallace, we want to thank.
You think we got another book coming that she can promote? I feel like we're on the cusp of a book tour.
Lauren and the Hidden True Crime community. I hope you guys consider hitting the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up on both channels, the Hidden True Crime and Crime Time with Duty Ron here. I'll link Lauren's channel in the description. Again,
TMZ going to start covering this, I wonder? Dog Bounty Hunter?
And I'm a subscriber and a member over there. Proud member. And I'm really only a member of a handful of YouTube content creators.
I don't either.
Because you have to really, you know, it's hard to support a whole.
Robin, I don't either. I don't know why they're not asking questions or comfortable with people asking questions, especially in the true crime space.
Whole group of people, but I do the best that I can with subscribing. But becoming a channel member.
But this is what happens so often. They use emotional manipulation or manipulation, even in the cases that they're detailing. They omit facts. They purposely drive misinformation for narratives because then they have access to one side or the other of these cases. It's sad but true. And this is what we're watching now with this I Stand With Lauren campaign. It's either you're for them or against them. And it's like, no, there's a bunch of us out here just wanting to know. We're not for anybody in this, especially weaponizing the courts. We're for the victims. Did you guys forget what you said you're about?
Is another step, as you know, and it's a level of support that is always appreciated. So thank you, Lauren, for being here. I'll give you final words.
Get fucked.
No, thank you for having me here. I'm sorry if people disagree with what I did. But like I said, I'm okay.
Pecan, first of all, you have to like everybody. Secondly, you have to be OSHA compliant. Did you know that? That's a new regulation out here too. If you're not OSHA compliant, you might not be in the right chat.
If people disagree, but please let's do it peacefully. And I just, like I said, I want to thank you for being a safe space to jump on. This is my first appearance on YouTube since I did a 9-hour live. And by the way, I never thought that was.
Of course, Coffindoffer, of fucking course. Why wouldn't she? Takes the biggest opportunity to get involved in every shit show there possibly is. Fuck.
Going to be a 9-hour live. I knew that I was going to get through all the information I needed to get through. So I had the information. I thought it was going to be long. I thought it was going to be 4 hours tops, but it was adrenaline, necessity, and if I was going to do it, I was going to do it right. I was going to be honest. I was going to be vulnerable.
I got you.
Share it. So I just, like I said,
I got you.
I'm going to I have to work. This is now my work. And so I will be back, but it was sort of like the aftershock.
OSHA is workplace safety. It's a workplace safety thing. I'll explain it more in just a minute. Coco, give me a minute. I'll play this short.
Of doing that live, there was like a lot of this, we said like necessity and adrenaline and fear and panic. And so I've just been sort of like regrouping. John and I do plan to talk about it further. It may or may not be on YouTube. It might be on Patreon. Like I said, I'm sorry. We feel better behind a paywall. We do. It is what it is when this happens.
I'm sorry. We feel better behind a paywall. How does a paywall protect you? Again, I just said that your Patreon can be brought over here. It can. It's once it's in the public space, it can be fair used. Yes, you can have your attorneys, blah, 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 whatever the case. Yeah, you could do that. But what does that $5 offer you? What safety does that offer you? I don't understand that. We feel safer on Patreon. How does that $5 protect you? Slow True Crime Month. Isn't that what you said the other day about law and crime? Slow True Crime Month, I think were your exact words.
That happens. John never sought out to be a part of this, something like this. He just wanted to share his knowledge with the world. Yeah. So, but we'll be back. I actually think I'm going to record an episode tonight. And I do want to encourage our gems to subscribe to you too, because I chose you for a reason. Thank you for being so victim centered. Thank you for being such a dear friend. Thank you for being such good people, both of you. So please, support Duty Ron and his channel. And thank you for supporting us. It means a lot to us.
You're very welcome. And it was our honor and our privilege to have you on. And I know that we didn't get to everything because there will always be these unanswered questions. Like, look at this super chat. Carrie Marie, thank you. She said, thoughts on being friends with fans in the future, maybe the NDAs for contractors. Yeah, no, that's a great question. So yes, NDAs are now a part of anyone and everyone that works for us. Like I said, I actually grew really fast. And I didn't understand. I was too friendly, and being friends with fans in the future. That actually is a part. I sort of talked about that on my live because it breaks my heart fans. Because I love.
We're back to the fucking fans. These people need reality checks. Come back to reality. You're just like every one of us that has opinions and gets on YouTube and says them. You got a bigger following. You worked in journalism. But man, these are just other fellow humans. They're fans. I can't stand that shit. I can't stand it. Bugs me.
People.
Gives me the ick.
I love people's stories. I love talking to people. I love meeting fans at trials. I went to CrimeCon for
I love meeting fans at trials. People's worst moments in life. And you love having a meet and greet with your fans at these horrendous trials.
Many reasons and for work, but also to meet many fans of the podcast who requested I be there and who I had merchandise for to give out. And I love that because I don't get to meet everyone.
Giveaways, handing out merchandise to her fans in line at trials. Sounds like a good old meet and greet of sorts at these horrific trials.
And I am afraid that I am a bit changed forever and that I don't know.
That sounds like something Betty would do. We're having a protest. Come meet me and get some merch.
If I will ever be that close to, I will continue to look forward to meeting fans, but it has definitely affected me at this time.
Yeah, Ed and I were going to go, and he was supposed to be in Morocco, so we had to cancel. Otherwise, we would have been there. But look, if you haven't changed your mind and you go next year to CrimeCon, we'll get a booth next to each other, and we'll provide you free security, Ed and I. So, but yeah, it changes everything.
She don't need security. Nothing happened. What are you doing? Oh, are you now thinking it's like a joke and you're being funny? Haha, we're going to provide security in a booth. Like, was that a funny because you're realizing how ridiculous this is? Because Ed Wallace's face says, there's something else going on here and I don't really know what the hell it is. So I'm just sitting here watching the chat and reading everything going, what do we do?
And there's no doubt that you have to change everything that you're doing now because of this. And that's the world we live in, unfortunately. You know, you can't take this stuff lightly. And when people
She's got to change everything she's been doing. Like, stop talking shit behind people's backs and being friends with shitty people who release those. And you hire all your friends as your workers and don't have proper work relationships with anybody. And there's boundaries overstepped. Like, poor Grayson is like on the verge of a mental breakdown. That is not a healthy workplace relationship with employers.
do take this stuff lightly, sometimes there's an opportunity. So I want to end this on a high note, and I want to thank everybody for being here, the replay viewers, the super chatters. There's so many super chats. I'm going to do another stream again just to thank everybody. But Lauren, I want to thank you, Grayson, your wonderful husband, Dr. John, and the whole Hidden True Crime community for being here and being a part of your live stream and getting some of your questions out. And look, if folks have questions that they forgot to ask, the great part about the comment section is you could leave a comment and we'll answer those questions. If it's something that's pressing, I'll get it over to Lauren.
So I'm assuming most of the super chats were like logical questions probably coming through. Is that why he didn't pin them and read them? Because she didn't really answer any questions at all from anybody. So I'm assuming that's why he's doing it in a separate stream, so he can say, I don't know, I can't answer that, I don't know, because she's not there.
And I'll pass it along to Grayson, and maybe she can answer them. So on behalf of Crime Time with Duty, Ron and Ed Wallace, I want to thank you for being here. Again, sending strength, prayers, and positive vibes to Lauren and her family.
Look at Ed.
They need us now more than ever. Let's stand by them.
I've never seen that man so quiet in my life.
Support them with positive vibes and energy. That's what they need. And anybody who loves and cares for them, that's what you should do. And I know you have something to say at the end of all these things. So
I've heard bits and pieces about the poison. I've been watching Jay. Most of the time I've been on replay, but I've been watching Jay too. Oh yeah. Jay's catching things that I didn't even think of.
So ended up with Ed Wallace.
All right, folks, I want to thank you for spending your valuable time with us here. We know you can get your true crime fix.
And she knows that arena from like being a true crime content creator. So it's interesting to me to listen to like her perspective on it.
Anywhere you like on the internet. But this is a more serious issue than our standard cases that we...
Jay can speak on it from like an industry, like connections and pieces like that. I have no idea.
Normally do. And thank you for supporting Lauren. And please pray for sanity, okay? And bring this, our nation back to...
Pray for sanity, bring our nation back. He doesn't know what to think.
A sound and sane footing again. And as I said earlier, you don't have to...
Who's the insane one? Do you even know at this point? Doesn't seem like it. You seem a little frazzled.
To accept what Ron and I say or anybody says.
Oh, that disclaimer. You don't have to accept what we say because I don't even know what we're saying tonight. I don't have the details. I'm just here.
But you can respectfully agree to disagree, and it shouldn't bring about violence of any kind. It shouldn't bring about stalking. It shouldn't bring about harassing or making...
Yeah, which we haven't seen. We haven't seen any violence, stalking.
Threats.
Okay. No threats I've seen.
Okay. Definitely shouldn't bring in about murder. Okay. Because you don't...
Okay, why are we making that jump?
Don't agree with what somebody has to say. That's just crazy. It's just not normal. Okay. Well, thanks again, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Lauren, we'll speak soon. I'll keep in touch with you. And good night from New York City. We'll see you soon.
Call us if you need us.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. All right. Before we leave, I want to switch to this really quick. So I also heard that this one went live earlier today and had this to say. Now, I point this part out here in particular because in true Britney fashion, she can't read a room.
I think that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit. And I think anybody that they want, they can be anybody they want to be. They can be anonymous and they can behave.
I got to go back.
I mean,
for anybody that doesn't know, this is allegedly with Brittany J. This is her backup channel, allegedly, in my opinion, with Brittany J. Brittany J claims to be a true crime creator as well, and she is the one I'm speaking on that was a part of a group who claimed other creators were RICO and racketeering and a part of Enterprise and a year ago. And then she just recently filed, she tried to get ROs in that case too, alongside her 9 other plaintiffs. but they were denied. And then just recently she tried to get injunctions, no contact orders on creators on YouTube. She is foul. She does all sorts of shit and weaponizes the court system while claiming that she is for the victims. And she's also called snoozy because she cannot stay awake and falls asleep constantly. But she says it's the internet, it's StreamYard, it's Spectrum, it's something. She has, like, the LDS missionaries somehow ended up at her house for the first time in 14 years. Somebody made an appointment. Don't know who it was. I don't think she's ever followed through. So therefore, I believe it was likely her that set up the appointment. She lives in the middle of nowhere. There's these like gates and no trespassing, whatever the case is. Anyways, these missionaries showed up. She called the cops on the missionaries, then came live, was all giddy, but told her subs that something happened at her house again. And like amped them up to make people think that people were doing stuff to her. That's what she does all the time, is she like tries to create evidence, and come to find out, because she was currently attempting to get no contact orders. They listen to Broadcastify. Again, it's the quote unquote people from true crime. So they're going to do what they do and vet the information. And sure as shit, she had called the cops on LDS missionaries. She lied about the time. Then she comes back on, shows the video and amps it up again about, oh, it was just so off. Something was so weird. Then she had a whole concocted story of why she was late to court for the no contact orders. And it's a whole shit show. But this is what she had to say for anybody that doesn't know who she is, because there are some new faces in here tonight. And welcome in.
I think there's an argument to be had on this platform that people are absolutely desensitized, because YouTube and social media alike, people come here and they're able to be anybody that they want.
Yes.
They can be anybody they want to be. They can be anonymous, and they can behave in any way that they want.
They slipped it in enough throughout, and that's just ugh.
And not have to be accountable for their gnarly behavior. And it's just, I think that's bullshit.
She's also the most victimized person on YouTube, according to her.
I think that's bullshit. And I think people are so used to seeing it, especially in this sector, that it, they roll their eyes at anything less. Ivy League says, I'm sick of hearing people say that if you're a content creator, you're putting yourself out there for people to dig on you. That is a bullshit excuse. That's like...
Okay, I want you to think about the comparison that she's going to make here. Ivy League makes a comment about people digging into you. Nobody has ever said that was okay or like desensitized to it. Nobody has said that besides you. You told people to dig. You were digging, trying to make connections to families of missing kids and other creators and shit. You were digging into people. But the comparison that you're about to make here is excessive in true Britney fashion.
Like, oh, because she wore a dress, he came on to her. That's on her. No.
What is that in relation to? Can you tell me again? What is that common statement in reference to? Rape, sexual assault?
Like, oh, because she wore a dress, he came on to her. That's on her. No.
Ivy League was talking about creators digging into each other. And that's what her thought comes out as. What?
Just because we decide to publicly, and we don't even put all of ourselves out there. Like,
how do you see why that's so fucking weird? Isn't that weird? I'll go back and play that all together. It just, this is the comment and this is her reaction.
Anything less. Ivy League says, I'm sick of hearing people say that if you're a content creator, you're putting yourself out there for people to dig on you. That is a bullshit excuse. That's like, oh, because she wore a dress, he came on to her. That's on her. No. just because we decide to publicly, and we don't even put all of ourselves out there, like we are in.
She's comparing this by, oh God, BJ, you just don't get it, do you?
Control of what we allow you guys to know and see. But just because
that's true,
we are quote unquote limited public figures, that does not.
To Autumn, I heard that and I was like, no, what? I had to listen to it a couple times because I was just, what are you doing?
Give you or anybody the right to invade our life.
Who's the one that got on this fucking app and tried to dangle my private information over my head? Fucking you. Don't forget that. You said, I know all about you. And I said, put that shit out, bitch. You tried, when I fucking pushed back on the misinformation that you were pushing off in kids' cases, you tried dangling private information. I know everything. I didn't fucking flinch, did I? You're the one that doesn't like getting pushed back over your fucking words and likes to dig on people that disagree with you. Don't forget it. You were digging on Clue. You'd been digging on Granny for years. You dug on Clue trying to make a link to a stepfather of a missing child, and you didn't like Clue.
Stalk us. You know, people act like, oh, well, you're a creator, or you're, you know, you put yourself out there now. So everybody has a right to look into every aspect of your life.
No, they don't. No, they fucking don't. Nobody says that. That's not what's fucking happening either.
That's just,
you bait people with shit constantly to play the victim.
No. Because you put yourself out there, you have to accept that people are going to talk about you. People are going to say things about you. People are not going to.
Think of what they did. They give fucking house tours of parents of missing children that there's no evidence for. They give fucking house tours of theirs. And then they expect to be treated differently. Think of that. And no, I don't think it's either way. But this is what she does to parents of missing children, that all people have is gut feelings. I haven't seen a house tour of Seth, thank God. I don't want to. If there's one in existence, I don't want to fucking see it. I didn't want to see the inside of Chris and Katie's home. We don't have evidence that they're involved in their child's disappearance. But you did that. You gave a whole Zillow tour numerous times of their home.
To always like you. But that certainly does not open the doors for people to pick apart your whole life.
Think about what she's saying here.
And I'm going to tell you another thing that I'm hearing people leave out. Here's one thing that I'm not hearing really many people mentioning. The constant threat to put out private messages. That is a form of taunting.
Who does that? Your ex-mods.
You are tormenting somebody.
Actually, your ex-mod does drop quite a bit of your messages. But I think they're mostly Facebook messages.
That's blackmail in a way.
Blackmail? Oh my God.
Well, I don't necessarily, let me take that back. I don't want to say blackmail because.
Is it going to be extortion?
Because blackmail would be, you know, unless you do.
There's a lot of fucking people that try to weaponize messages when friendships fall out. There's a lot of people.
Do X, Y, or Z, I'm going to release this. But it is absolutely a form of torment to tell somebody, I have 6 years of your records, of your personal messages. I have 6 whole years.
Yeah, that's a ex-contract person she should have been handling that with. That's not her stalker. Carry on.
Of your personal and private messages.
But if she was a contract worker for her for that period of time, there's ways to handle that if she's releasing business information or anything like that. If she was under some sort of contract. Okay, again, That's not even about the stalker. So
between you and intimate friends. And I could share them.
oh my God, BJ.
You know, saying that to the individual is going to exhibit extreme anxiety, panic,
Extreme anxiety, panic,
fear,
frustration.
No. Even I'm not going to call her the stalker because I don't like that. But
she don't like that. Bitch, what? What? You don't like that? Since fucking when?
Christina, the lady that Lauren deems her stalker, even stated on one of her videos on TikTok that after Lauren and her were on the rocks or whatever, they had been arguing. Hold on a second. Sorry. She saw Christina ran into her, and Christina confronted her. Not only did she confront her, but she recorded it like sneaky people do. She recorded the interaction.
You remember this bitch? You just said you don't like that she called her a stalker, right? You guys heard that? Am I losing my mind? Oh, this is from August 14th. Listen, we got a message for Nonsense and the Islanders.
Hey, Nonsense. April of 2024 is when you started harassing me.
This bitch is so dumb, she doesn't even get it correct. I started reviewing her March 28th, 2024, and I've never winced. And your fucking behavior is shit. And you lie a fucking lot. I use your own words and keep it to the internet. Never, ever done anything to you.
Unsolicited.
A drug dealer going to court because somebody robbed him.
Right, unsolicited.
Her partner is so smart, he compares it to a drug dealer going to court and saying that somebody robbed them.
Nonsense has harassed me. I never knew I didn't even know who the woman was. You started harassing me.
Harassing her by reviewing her public commentary.
Since you know dates so well, right? Nonsense and your Islanders, you started harassing
the Islanders. You could have asked any of them. They would have told you it was March 28th because I've repeated it daily.
Me, cyber stalking me,
since
April of 2024. So who do you
objection, Your Honor? Incorrect information.
You think's going to be one of the first people? Who do you think's going to be one of the first people subpoenaed if we did go to court?
I come with my filing cabinet. Move on over.
Would be Nonsense would be one of the first people because she's inserted herself into all of this. And then it's gonna be really
by giving public commentary on things is really not inserting myself into anything, pushing back on your lies, debunking your lies. That's why we're here. Carry on. And I document really well.
Really nice to see you.
People that make wild allegations from jump and accuse people of heinous things kind of show you their hand right up front. You learn that you need to document because they're weaponizing and very, very comfortable lying in courts. We've seen it.
Tell the judge why you started harassing me for the better part of a year and made it your priority to start documenting myself, my kids, and you put dates and
I document you, not your kids. You allow your kids on your public platform. There you go. I've never documented anything outside of them being in your background when I'm downloading your lives. That's it. Nothing outside of that. Carry on.
Timestamps on clips of.
Oh, actually, and I did make sure that you found out about a public channel that one of your children has, because you were telling everybody and blaming everybody on the internet for finding your children when you made this whole concocted lie about that. I made sure that you knew about the actual channel so you could do the right thing and protect them. And you threatened to contact Mal's mom, or said you did contact Mal's mom, because we reached out to you to make sure that you knew about the channel so you could protect the well-being of your children.
Everything. You started, I mean, if that's not cyber harassment, I don't know what is. That's stalking at bare minimum. And then
he's not comfortable calling Lawrence people stalkers, but she sure is over here. Don't forget that.
And now you're going to go further and attempt to intimidate my mods to scare them from trying to help me put an end to the bullying.
She doesn't really weaponize her audience as well as she tries to weaponize her mods. That is something she always does. Her and Lauren are more similar in their stories as time goes, which is really sad.
And the harassment that anybody that I've ever showed all of this to, like, and I've asked them, what do you think? I've never seen anything like it. They all have the same response. I have never witnessed harassment at this level, this degree, with so many people collectively working together against one single individual. You're out of your mind nonsense. And
you'll be, the thing is I don't even keep up. There's just a shit show every fucking day, and I don't have to because so many other people are keeping up. Thank God. There's no way, at the rate that she has done crazy shit, it's unreal. There's no way I could keep up. She is a fucking case study.
Also have falsely accused me of calling your boyfriend or husband, whatever he is to you, a predator. I've never called Kyle that, but you still say it.
What'd you say there, Craig? Oh, Craig.
You're out of your mind nonsense. And you also have falsely accused me of calling your boyfriend.
Again, I've told you what live to put back up. I said what I said.
Friend or husband, whatever he is to you, a predator. I've never called Kyle that, but you still say it. Right.
Did you hear Craig? Did you hear Craig again?
I don't care to. I'm not like her. I don't dig into your shit. You still say it.
She's trying to shush Craig real fast. He said he is. He gets closer to the mic.
Right.
The fuck he is.
I don't care to. I'm not like.
He turns to shush him.
Like her. I don't dig into your shit. I don't care.
She wishes somebody cared about her.
She wishes somebody cared about her. Ooh, where'd that energy go? Come on, big bad bitch. Where'd you go? Trying to pick a side on this one, and you realized that you were going to try to use Lauren's story to bolster your own? Come on. Get back to, where's the big bad bitch energy here?
And Christina, while describing.
Oh, and by the way, Christina, if you're going to do appropriate shorts and really like take a dig, don't use stuff like that. Do this. If you're going to use their own words, do it.
OSHA, call them now reality?
Do better.
Really?
Well, I mean, you never thought you'd get
Be
this far.
creative.
Well, I never ever thought people would be this fucking crazy either.
I mean, yeah, I mean, who's this crazy to anybody? Have you ever seen?
Hey, no, I've never seen anything like this.
Ever. Who's ever been gone through like this, say.
OSHA, call them now reality? Really?
We here are OSHA compliant at the island. Safety first.
you know, confronting Lauren and seeing her in person.
That's what I'm saying. Her fucking TikTok's boring. There's no like educational videos or anything. At least I use their own words to teach us something. We learned about OSHA. Thanks, reality.
She admits on her true crime channel that when she hugged Lauren's neck, you tell me if this is not a threatening
Oh my gosh.
statement. She hugged Lauren's neck.
You guys, I did it again. I'm so sorry. We should just get in the habit of me like halfway through checking these. And then at the end, I'm so sorry. I'm not paying attention again. Sophia, if you're still here, thank you for the $2. KB, are you saying the 9-hour live stream or her history is what helped you draw your conclusions about her? Thinking of Dre, it's taken me more than the past couple of days to draw a concrete solution. Yeah, I don't, KB, I still don't even have one. I feel like we're missing something, but the more she comes out and talks, the more I'm like, wait, like you're not only not providing proof, but you're giving further excuses to why there isn't proof. It's confusing. And I was really hoping and expecting, because we know 99% of the case isn't here. Like something's missing. And it's either the way she looks, fuck, it's bad. KB, again, thank you for being a member for 32 months. Wine, Crime, and Mayhem, thank you for being a member for 2 months. Perfect night. First Dutchie, then nonsense. Awesome. Justice for Alyssa. Thank you so much. Just because you don't cry like these babies about fake trauma, I appreciate that. If you're still here, thank you again. We gob shit. I'm a pain stalker now. Oh my gosh. The FBI is in here. At least we're OSHA compliant. It's okay. K-Bird, going federal will mean discovery, but she won't. K-Bird, thank you for becoming a new member. Thank you for the support. And a cop and a sleuth, thank you for becoming a member. Sorry about that, you guys. Oh, yes, a lot is missing. Thank you guys for the support. And I'm terrible. I get caught up in reading the comments and then bumping back and forth between clips, and I miss these. You guys, I apologize.
Now, remind you, they had already been fighting. And she told Lauren, oh my goodness, now I see.
I bumped us back to today. This was just earlier.
Why you're so afraid of your messages being leaked.
Yes, it did.
They are horrible.
I saw that. I didn't screenshot it, and I wish I would have, but the people were nasty in her comments on her videos. Like, they went right over there. It started before her video even ended.
She said she told that to Lauren.
And I don't know anything about this Lori Hellis at all. Like, I am just now getting into it. So there's a lot of characters to listen and list and learn about. We're going to do that this week together. Because right now, oh my God, there's so many different characters that Lauren brought these people into it. It's crazy. And then the I Stand With campaign coming out and her doing her press junket. There's so much to keep up with. It's like, but that's what they're doing. They're flooding the zone. And people are emotionally reacting and stopping the logical thought process.
Now, would you take that as a threat?
Yes. Yep. Schoolie, same.
Or what? How are you?
I felt manipulated too. In the beginning, I was like, I was holding on. I held on to the end thinking she's got to come back from this. There's got to be something here.
Do you think that's completely innocent statement? Or is that a form of taunting, torture? That's her hugging Lauren's neck and letting her know, hey, I got you, girl.
Do you hear, like, they were actually friends at the time. This was just a interaction when they were friends. Listen to this premeditated weird shit she's got going on.
I've got it all in my hands.
Look at this.
And I see now why you're afraid. Like, that.
Huh? She just walked. What?
That's evil. That's evil.
Hugging your friend. They were friends at the time.
And what?
They had exchanged tickets. Okay, people are weird, but that wasn't that. Come on, people. Stop it.
What does Lauren do after that? She apologizes to her. Completely apologizes. I mean, a very long, drawn out apology.
It's weird.
And
it's so weird.
girl goes live later that evening, and she's laughing, accusing Lauren of love bombing her.
We went and saw my in-laws earlier, Jim. They were watching the Mariners game. Was it the Mariners? Yeah. Whoever. I don't follow baseball. They were really into the baseball game. They watched football earlier, and then tonight was baseball, and they were really into it.
I mean,
so we got them their popcorn.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Is that stalking? I don't know about that that particular thing, but it's 100% evil.
The girls interrupted, so Grandpa had to pause the TV. It was so funny. He loves it, though. He loves getting to see his granddaughters. He's such a good guy.
It's evil.
He loves
and it is concerning. So
what's concerning is you tried to figure out which way to play this for your own benefit. That's what's fucking crazy and concerning.
Like I said, I know that this isn't very popular, but
she keeps going back and forth. Like she can't pick a side here because she knows that there's just not proof. And she's trying to figure out how to work this for her best interest, not based on the facts and the truth. That's what BJ's take is. How can she play this to the best benefit of her? What's going to affect her the best in this outcome? Which way? She don't care about the facts and the truth or making crazy allegations against someone. BJ don't give a fuck about that. She's trying to figure out how she can best benefit from this.
I can't just say things based off what I think people want me to say.
Mm-hmm.
The Patreon. I cannot with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Postcard.
Maybe she has a reason.
Absolutely.
And she'll explain it and I'll be like, okay, well,
because she's thinking in the back of her mind, like this might be taking up for Lauren, might be her into those circles, and who's all going to take up for her. Like she's waiting to see who comes out. Like which big true crime creators can I try to insert? Like she's trying to rebrand as is. It's funny.
And I'll reserve judgment to hear what I really do want to hear what she has to say about that, because that bothers me so much. Guilty of Crime says it crossed the line when it went into real life.
And why would she be interested in this? It's not true crime. She's a true crime channel. Oh, wait, because she wants to use it for her own gain.
Real life is calling her contacts to blacklist her. And I'm not hearing nobody talk about that either. Guilty of Crime. Yes, called in question her hubby's credentials to UNLV. Showed up where Lauren was after the RO. And that's another thing.
There's discrepancies right now. People are telling different stories until we hear Christina. I don't know Christina's side of the story. I'm not going to believe Lauren's story. I'll believe the timeline that we have right now until we hear Christina's side of the story of when she was truly notified, when she knew about these court hearings, everything of that nature.
Some people are saying that Lauren...
And I do not agree with anybody contacting his supposed employment or connections there unless there is a reason outside of which we don't know right now. And we have one side. And her TikToks.
Hold on a second. Some people are saying that not Lauren, but the girl, because this is where I'm confused. Some people are saying that the girl Christina was served after she was at CrimeCon. And then others are saying no.
I'm not interested in listening to her struggle through this timeline until we hear the other side of it. So I'm going to bump it forward to when she says, there's a spot in here. It's right after this. It's funny because she realizes she's not subscribed finally. And she's like, oh, I'm not subbed up on my backup. Let me go sub up. Now I'm subbed up on both channels. Okay, so now she's going to make an allegation. All right, here we go.
To anyone who was just gifted, welcome to the Gummy Squad. Thank you.
I'm not interested in, I haven't seen all of this, but these spots I know about.
Guys so much for being a part of the channel. So somebody said, yeah, baby oil and iodine. Hope Floats, it's good to see you again. So somebody said that one of you just said that you don't understand why an 8-year-old needs to know about all this. I cannot speak for anybody, you know, but I can tell you from my personal experience of the things that I had to go through. I have had to sit my kids down and have some very uncomfortable conversations with them, and I have had to tell them
they shouldn't be uncomfortable conversations. You should have appropriate conversations with your children about internet safety as is, baseline. And then as somebody that has a channel, you take extra precautions. But you shouldn't be laying all of this on their shoulders. They shouldn't know about this shit to the extent yours do.
Things that I normally would never, you know. My big kids and my little kids, my big kids have actually seen things.
Now we're hearing a story that her big kids have seen things. Just recently when she told this story, it was, what if my kids were to run across that video about my mom?
You know, thank God my little kids haven't.
About their grandma. What if? Now it's they have.
But my big kids have actually seen videos. I don't know how, but I've had Kendall call me.
Like their stepfather, extended family, excuse me, his words. Waving a weapon around, intoxicated on live. Hearing their siblings wake you up in the middle of the night. Yeah, I hope they don't have to see this shit. But this is what you're putting out here. This is what you're displaying. None of us have control over what you're showing of your household.
You know, or, you know, she'd be here and she'd tell me, Mama,
and you're blaming everybody for what you continue to show of your household. It's not our fault.
Do you know a lady named Jay? Like, she told me this. Do you know a lady named Jay? She was in my feed. I don't know how.
Jay came up in the algorithm. They blocked her daughter the other night in her chat. Her daughter is around. She's 20. They blocked her in the chat the other night.
Oh, I don't.
It's really late and I should not be doing this, but I'm cracking a Coke. We're almost done.
I don't know how.
And it's a Diet Coke.
But she said that it come up in her feed. And now I know that my daughter has looked stuff up about me because my daughter's 20. She's grown. So my daughter has seen videos that Jay's put out. She has seen videos that Clues put out. And then go in there, buddy. Hold on, y'all. My 17.
Shit. Kenzie gets shit in her algorithm. So does Kyle about me. And carry on.
And 16-year-olds, my boys, had the unfortunate.
If you have a channel, you can almost guarantee there's an opposition. You've said something to piss somebody off, and there's probably a video about it. Carry on.
Privilege, quote unquote privilege. I use that term very loosely. Of coming across that video by Olaf. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Let me see what
Olaf, who constantly is getting unblocked over there. Constantly. At one time, she said that she was afraid of Kiwi Farms because of potential trafficking of her children. Then she tried to link that to Olaf and Belinda and blamed a bunch of people for random shit about that. And then Olaf continues to get unblocked over there. It's so fucking weird.
What my son wants.
BJ's trying to bait something.
All right, my two oldest boys had the unfortunate privilege of coming across that.
Just like when she went live and said that her stuff, her children's stuff, all of their information was all over Kiwi Farms. And it wasn't. It was a link to a live stream that was shared of her. Like she was the topic of the conversation of that live stream, but none of their private information was shared. And she like went live and like freaked out and blamed Kiwi Farms for a bunch of shit.
That video made by Olaf, where it's a song about my mama, my deceased mother, mind you.
We just heard the other night, 2 nights ago, I played the clip of her calling Olaf the P word. That's exactly what she says is the P word.
It's basically calling her it's saying some very nasty things like she's a drug dealer and stuff like that. And unfortunately, my kids saw that. So
yeah,
I'm going around the world to say that
I don't agree with that shit. You actually played a clip though and said that I was talking poorly about your deceased mom, and I never even spoke on your mom. See, you've used your mom in lies when it suits you. Then you also said something about you have some sort of humor around it. You say these things, then when people actually say something, you use it and you hook onto it just like you did here.
I was under the impression from what I've heard from looking into this that her son was going to have.
Nope, they're not. Her kids are not on Kiwi Farms, Willow. She lied. She concocted an entire lie. It never happened. All that was on there was a link to her video is what it came out. People walked it right to, showed exactly what was put up. And all it was a link to her video. Or not her video, somebody's video. Hillbilly Belinda was doing content on her. That was it. It was just that thumbnail. And the link to the live, I think. And then she went live, this one here, BJ, and said something to the effect that her kids were at risk of trafficking because of Kiwi Farms. And they hadn't even done anything at all. Like, she's reckless.
He was going to be deposed. Like, I guess her son was going to have to testify. So she didn't really have.
Yeah, her minor child has been in chat trolling. There's the clips of that.
Have much of a choice.
And her adult daughter was just in her chat the other night and they blocked her. My child is on she's a mod in here and comes in here and yells at me.
Voice, I don't think.
Like, there's some of this that's just like, ugh, stop. You know what you're doing.
So I think that's where that comes from. Now, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. Crystal says, I haven't been stalked, but I warn my kids about strangers on the internet, and I have apps on my phone to monitor who they talk to. Yes, Crystal, you have to. You have to.
I agree with that.
I'd be so angry seeing someone talk about mama. Oh,
in fact, we use Aura. If you need a downloader thing outside of Life 360 and the iPhone apps, Aura is another option too.
April, you know, a lot of y'all watch Soup, right? Soup had got mad at me because I played her members only stream, and I stand on it 10 toes down. I did not know that the stream was members only. I did not know that.
But she could have just went and played the video herself. She didn't need to play her video. That's the thing. She did that to try and justify her bringing it up. Yeah.
But I did share her members only stream. And because I did that, and everybody's like, why would you even talk about them when
she always needs to put somebody else in her spats? That's why she uses other people. She could have just went and grabbed Olaf's video and responded.
You had filed for an RO. I heard my mother talked about, and basically that thing said that my mom dying was like the best thing that could happen to my kids. And I'm not even gonna lie, that set me off. You know, I'm trying to overlook, and I get.
I know for a fact that's what it was. I've seen it proven. I don't even need to show it again. It's been proven over and over again that that's all that was on there. Like, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. That's all that was there. She kept that fucking game up for 2 weeks during this, right after she had started her legal fundraiser. She fucking really amped and used them coming in to cover her for her legal grift. She really tried to convince people that something was going on with that. Right after she starts her legal fund.
It now fully that they put shit out to bait, but you know that at that point all I saw was red. You know.
Yeah, no, I've seen it.
Not only said that, you know, my kids not only saw.
Yeah, no, there's nothing to prove. If they need to see it, I think Hillbilly Belinda debunked it herself. Like, it's there. Don't take my word for it. If you want to go check it, go check it. But it's been shown over and over again. That's been debunked.
Oh. A video that her stupid friend made, about my deceased mama. But now this thing is saying that my kids, you know, the best thing that happened to them was mama dying.
Yeah.
And guess what? Nobody bats an eyelash. That's okay. That's all right.
None of us have control over what other people say. Do you not get that?
Right. You can talk about somebody's mama dying all day long and curse her name. And
you lied about me saying that I did something I didn't about your mom. So carry the fuck on. I just have no give a fuck left. I'm not going to sit here and fucking demand other people respect your mother. Like, what the fuck? You lied on me. Shut up and move on.
People on this platform, they don't care. They don't give a shit as long as it's not them. So that set me off. And that's why
you keep on blocking this person for them to come. Like, shut up.
I did what I did. But, anyway, I didn't mean to get off sidetrack. But my whole point is going through this stuff. Yeah. Unfortunately, I
think I've shown it before, even Earth. I think all of us showed what was actually there or talked about it or something or pointed people. Like, we've debunked so much of this shit already.
Talk to your kids about things because you don't know what's going to happen. And, she probably did have to tell her if she truly feels like that woman could possibly show up. And we know that they ran into.
There's no threats of any of that. There was no threats or even communication about what we saw about her child. Did you guys see anything from Christina, the alleged stalker, about showing up? Like, no, you do not have to have talks about what people look like. There was no, why would that conversation be happening?
Each other in different states. So we know this woman, obviously she's got money to fly and go where she wants to go. All you got to do is look at her TikTok. She's all over the world.
Okay. And
Lauren probably did have to have a talk with her 8-year-old and explain, hey, if you see a dark-haired lady.
There was not even a single remote threat of anything to do with her child, though, that I saw. No mention of her child. How her child ended up being so impacted. She didn't show videos of people going by their home, weird packages arriving, phone calls. There was nothing. She was the one reaching out to people because people were not talking to her. They weren't sending her things. Her phone went silent. Why would she be having to do all this? See, here's where it's just, what are you doing?
Lady, or you see somebody.
You're trying to justify your fear mongering that you've done with your own children.
Following, when I drop you off at school or, I need you to be hyper vigilant.
Why would you instill that fear in the kids? There was no threats. Again, there was no threats at all in that capacity.
Look at my kid. I've had to tell my kids, what certain people look like. I've had to tell my kids, we have come up with a whole new way of living.
This right here, you've had to tell people, your kids, what certain people look like. Nobody's coming. Again, follow up about somebody driving by. Do that. You said your cops told you that you needed video camera footage. We heard you say you got the cameras. If somebody's driving by your house, okay, that's a different story. Figure that out. But you tried this whole bait and switch thing with the LDS missionaries. Fuck out of here. You said that you've told them 1,000 times that people are driving by your home. Factually, we know of once that it happened. Don't know who by, don't know where it came from. Once. And you think that the 999 other times that you've told them that and nobody's even threatened to do it? Again, boy who cried wolf.
After going through this, when they started describing my kids' backpacks and, pulling up pictures of all 5 of my kids and shit. Yeah, you don't know what these people will do. They can.
Yeah. Again, I don't agree with that. But you yourself put out so much information. I didn't see anybody pulling pictures up of your children. I didn't. And if it happened, I might be forgetting about it right now, but I don't remember anybody pulling pictures up of her children and showing all 5 of her kids. Can anybody tell me who did that she's blaming?
They can pretend to be anything on YouTube, but are y'all going to take your chances? You have to you don't know how far people are going to go. You really don't.
I don't remember.
You don't want your kids to be caught off guard or unaware of their surrounding.
The thing is, I don't remember of anybody doing that. That's why if you guys can think of anybody, I don't remember ever seeing anybody do that. The backpack description, there was stuff with it. God, this is just, look at how she does though.
We need to be teaching our kids how to be vigilant anyway. We don't live in a world of sunshine and rainbows. I'm sorry. I would love to have a life where I could shelter my kids and make them think that, this is Mayberry. But unfortunately, that ain't it. And you better start early. preparing your kids for the real world and telling them, hey, not everybody is nice. Not everybody are good people doing things and following the rules. Just because someone's a teacher, a doctor, hell, a preacher, does not mean they're always good people. And your kids need to know that. So, I mean, I really don't frown on her having a talk with her kid. I don't. Now, let me be clear.
Okay, you have to have your children be aware, but hyper vigilant was the word you chose to use earlier. Hyper vigilant. I can't even talk. I'm giving up. These people make my brain go mush. You fearmonger. That's what you do to your children. You fearmonger your children. You have to teach them to be aware, but they should be allowed to be kids and enjoy life. You fearmonger yours.
There's a very big difference between preparing your kids and having that.
These people need to step away from true crime and realize you have to have your children and people be aware and safe, but you also have to experience and live life. Like this fear-mongering shit, ain't it?
Conversation versus scaring your kids or, giving them anxiety when it's not necessary. There's a way to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I would never go to my kids and be like, there's someone stalking us and talking crap about you and calling you names. And, I would no, you can't talk to kids like, you can't tell them.
Excuse me? The fucking statement right here. Listen to this.
It's not necessary. There's a way to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I would never go to my kids and be like, there's someone stalking us and talking crap about you. And
they hear that nightly when they're behind you on the couch. They don't hear anybody saying anything or threats being made or anything. They hear what you're repeating, just like what Craig is amped up over.
Calling you names and,
they hear what you say. And you're the one saying that all of those things are happening to you right in front of them nightly.
I would no.
You repeat the names that they're called. They don't hear. You have earbuds in. You show it. You tell us that. They can't hear anything that you're playing. If anybody was to do any of that. But you choose to repeat and twist the stories of what's being said and why. When people talk about you and your parenting, you somehow find a way to twist it. That they're calling your kids or saying these things about your children so you can repeat it in front of them, breaking their self-esteem.
You can't talk to kids like, you can't tell them stuff like that. You gotta handle it a certain way, but you do.
Yep. God, you are dumb.
Listen, I've never sugarcoated for mine ever. Nope. Since they were old enough to understand the words coming out of my mouth, I've made it clear to them that
the world is a scary place. This is why we hide in a bubble of paranoia and fear from the outside world. Because we're fucking frauds, in my opinion. Complete fucking shit stains on society. And we grift off society. So everybody else is a scary place because everything around us is built on a house of lies. So we stay away from people because if we were to people, our house of lies would crumble.
You don't trust a soul. You don't trust a soul. I don't care who it is. If they say something to you out of the way, touch you in any of your no-no spaces or, or even if you feel like this person's too close to you.
What is this? What is this fucking shit from her? Seriously. This was earlier today.
I don't care.
Look where she's taking this shit.
Who it is. If they say something to you out of the way, touch you in any of your no-no spaces or, or even if you feel like this person's too close to you, you trust that instinct and you take your ass off running. I don't care if it's your uncle, your aunt, your sister, your brother. Like you can't trust anybody. People's crazy.
What? Why is she doing this?
Tell the kids the truth, but do it on their level. 1,000%. 1,000%.
I don't either.
And I promise you, they are way more intelligent than you think they are. Kids are sponges.
I would hope so. And yeah, you're saying it again. Kids are sponges. That's why it's important of what we allow in front of them or in their spaces. Yeah.
And if there's
their home should be their safe space. You've invaded that with your somebody stalking you stories and all that shit. You've invaded their safe space and made their safe space not feel so safe based off of fabricated stories. You've done that. You choose this as a career. That's what you tell us. It's your career, and are using your own child's well-being to exploit and silence people into feeling bad.
Something going on. They can feel it.
No shit.
They absolutely can feel it.
Yep.
They know when tensions are off or things aren't right in the house. They know.
You think? And your kids live in it. Craig
We
said the other
are a
day, you don't
military
even
family,
talk.
and
Sorry,
you wouldn't
pulling
believe
vacuums.
what we have had to discuss with 5-year-olds. I can only imagine. I probably don't even want to know. When they can't get at you, they go for the kids. Yes. Yep. That is so true. And then you got to ask yourself, what kind of person would do that? You know what I mean? Like, who would do that? April says, kids know more than we think. They pick up things, and yeah, they do. And listen.
Now we have 2 examples of 2 creators that are saying their mental well-being of their children is put in jeopardy. 1 in court papers, actually 2 in court papers. Isn't that ironic? Have told the courts that their children's mental well-being is being affected. And they further exploited that to the internet for clicks and views.
Listen. They pick up on all kind of things and listen. That's so true. Kids are always listening when you have no idea they are. Yes. You're like, they're not paying attention. Yeah, they are. You better be careful. They absolutely are paying attention. Shall are. Kids are always, yes, they are. All right. We've got so much to talk about tonight on the Sebastian case.
I thought that was just astonishing. I thought that little speech from her was astonishing, considering the tension in their home that we feel from their situation, and we're not even living in it. When he says the things publicly to her, you can feel. Hank quit. No, sorry guys. Hank's getting Bella. Hank's like, second round. Nobody. It's time for bed. It is time for bed, but I thought that was fucking insane that she said that. We've been trying to tell her this for how long, that kids are sponges. They're hearing everything, and you're intentionally putting this out there, and this isn't happening. The police department is telling you this isn't happening. Like, you have cameras. This isn't happening, and you continue to do this. Hank, quit. Now. All right, you guys, I got to take this one to bed because he is really being feisty all of a sudden and trying to get Bella. So good night, you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys this week. Bye, y'all. Good night. Tell me what your thoughts are. If you have any final thoughts, I will try to read the comments. It's an interesting conversation, but I'm kind of like, who's next? Who's jumping on the I Stand With campaigns? This is crazy. And we will not normalize weaponizing our court systems and taking from victims any further. They already go through enough. Good night, you all.